Uh-oh. Did my camera just freeze? Uh-oh. My camera just froze. Hold on. Okay, camera's down. People, camera is down. Camera is officially down. All right, is this up and running? Okay, good. That's up and running. People, we are officially down. We're struggling. We are officially struggling here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, leaking so many DMs. Leaking all of them. We will be having the Melkagen on, okay? There we go. All right, hold on, I gotta fix this camera. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. All right. All right. Let's see if I can fix it now. Come on. Come on, I know you can come up, baby. I know you got this, baby. All right, I know you got this. Come on. Come on. Dang it. Okay, hold on. I gotta unplug it. Hold on. We're struggling. Cameras down, people. Cameras down. Help. Cam. Damn it, Cam. All right. All right. All right, we're off to a strong start. Strong start. Let's go. Let's go. Never doubted myself for a second. I always knew I was the best ever. Now look at me. Look at what we've done. Look at what we've accomplished. Why don't I hear alerts?
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
I love you. Okay, hey, dude, someone's named Simply D.
Costco.
Followed me 45 minutes ago. Everybody just simply wants the D, okay?
Costco.
It's the best. Book Dev, thank you. Shall I use Ligma? Absolutely.
Welcome to Costco.
Porque, buddy.
I love you.
Oh, thank you, VH Infinity. Hey, I just saw that you messaged me. I just saw you message me. Sorry, I couldn't. Divine Glitch. Let's go. Acid Madev. Thank you for that tier 1. It's almost been a year, baby. Volta Orlax. So thank you for the 6 months. Let's go.
Welcome to Costco.
You hacked Kinesis GUI Pro configuration. I can't log myself in. I only see your repos. Well, that seems positive. Fanatics. 7 months. Hype Train. Achieved. We have achieved it. Everybody, lube up. We're getting trained up, okay? Wait. Pause. Pause. Is this song not a banger? I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. Is this song not a banger? Flamebees. Thank you, Flamebees. The Linux update caught the case of the Windows update. Rip, yeah. We got a slow train. We got a snow train, slow train, hype train. Run a train. JavaScript, please fix. Please stop using JavaScript. And use CSS instead. Tic-tac-toe. I know, this is actually pretty wild that people actually have things such as this. This is just CSSing.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Is there really? Wait, is there really else if statements? What the hell is this? What the hell is that? What the hell is this? Somebody explain that to me. Someone explain to me how this. What's a pug? Okay, pugs are animals in which were engineered by humans to not be able to breathe correctly. What do you mean it's a programming language now? Who names a programming language after the most preyed upon animal ever created ever? Disgusting. It's a template system like Handlebar.js. What's the difference? I don't know. It's just another templating system. But this time you get to program. Program. Pug is what Jade used to be. Oh, okay. Cool. That's like a great. Thank you for that. More than Chihuahuas? Absolutely more than Chihuahuas. At least Chihuahuas can breathe. And they can mate. Like, Chihuahuas can make more Chihuahuas. Pugs. Let's just say that you gotta get a good old. You gotta get a good old lesson in 4-H if you wish to. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I can say my back end is stylish. Is it? Space Invaders is even more crazy. Yeah, we might have to look at those. There are now dog breeders making healthy pugs. I don't believe it. I do not believe such lies and heresies. So does this mean HTML can now be my favorite programming language? No, that's CSS, you ignorant slut. Are we talking Prisma containers? No. We're talking, let's use Firebase. Can you write Dijkstra's in OCaml? I don't see why you couldn't. You have types in OCaml. It's just a greedy-ass algorithm that puts stuff in a list. OCaml excels at lists, okay? It's a language filled with lists. Don't use Prisma. Okay? Prisma, what? Prisma, these nuts in your mouth, okay? Got him. Mario! Mario!
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Knock it off. Eric Arthur C. I guess you know what, Mario? I guess we're doing another one. It's a me, Mario. Okay, thank you for me. You know what? A hot girl spring status. Prime, this one is wild. Okay, let's find out. LinkedIn is absolutely unhinged. I like to watch porn. Yeah, I admit I've actually read this. Okay, porn, not only is it a scourge on society, it has, like, paper after paper has proven massive amounts of, like, just terrible for humankind.
Oh, that scared me.
Mario! Mario! Hey, Mario. How's the pizzeria? And the fettuccine? Study time is going to kill me. Study time is actually going to do this. Look at this JS slander I did. No, I can't look at that. It's not hard.
I love you.
That sounds like my programming. Damn it, Mario. Panda.
That scared me.
Look at this. I'm not even flinching anymore. You guys have literally... When I was younger, when I was sleeping in the dorm at Montana State University, I kid you not, my next door neighbor would play GTA until 4 in the morning at excessive volumes. I would literally fall asleep to like, that bitch! Like, that's all I'd hear all night long, and I would sleep to it. I could literally sleep to people being murdered. You guys have made me invulnerable to gunshots, okay? What the hell is happening here? Panda Coder? Mario? Ah, shit, here we go again. Sounds of freedom. Someone clipped the... Yep. Have you checked out EntoRF? No, I don't want to. Obviously, you use Drizzle. Okay, that's why. React to Prisma blog that Melky reacted. I am. Why change the original intention of CSS? Because CSS was not extensible and abstract enough. We need more abstractions. You can replace the gunshot with the sound of someone running. RF. Okay, now that is real. That's Signos.
Welcome to Costco.
Brian, what song
I love
you
you.
mentioned in the Adam and Dax podcast? Oh, Cats in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon. Come on. This music goes hard, yeah. Everybody loves a little, everyone loves this. Okay, are you guys ready to do this? Are you ready to do this? Melky, are you there? Are you there, Melky?
Welcome to Costco.
Hey, God Racy, thank you
I
for the
love you.
19 bits. And a Nana Shot.
That scared me.
I'm not showing my feet today, okay? I'm refusing to show my feet. But the fact that this didn't get more like, okay, come on, look at how good this is. I'm telling you where to click with my feet. Pretty awesome. All right. You guys want to nice feet? Yeah. Okay, I didn't get that at first. I thought it was really good. You just need to wait. Okay? You need to wait. All right, you guys ready to do this? Hold on. I got to go ban someone named David Williams. We're going to hide that user from this channel. Get the hell out of here, David. All right, there we go. Sorry, I see some messages that are unsavory. And we don't do that around here. I found your Twitter paid subscription content. You found this is clearly my OnlyFans. What laptop do you use? Bye, David. All right, Melky, get in. Melky, get in there. Okay. A Prime Feet Finder arc confirmed. Wait, dude, just wait till you see my OnlyFans arc coming up. My OnlyFans arc is gonna be so effing good. All right.
This goes out to the Primagen.
Hey, Fryuni, thank you very much for the 10 subs. Hey, it's been a while. I don't think I've seen your name in a while. And is that Mario Bin as well right afterwards? Well, thank you, Mario Bin. You didn't have to do that. Thank you for the 15 non-gunshot sounding things. All right. Are you ready? The Fat Rat song? Yeah, it's an old song. All right. Melky, all right. Melky, you got to give me a second. I got to get you all set up, okay? Don't. You can come in here and say hi.
Hello.
All right, I need more sound. Let's hear.
Hello.
Okay, Melky, you sound good. Have you been working out recently?
Yeah, working out the vocal cords,
Ooh.
the thyroid, all that.
I love all of that.
Yep.
If you work out enough thyroids, do you get thyroid rage?
Yeah, you give one up. You give the roid rage up for thyroid rage, so it's a good one.
I like that. It sounds exciting. Sounds like something I need in my life. All right, hold on one
milky
second.
Sounding milky smooth, Warren.
Can you redo your growl? That growl was just not. It was not there for me.
No, it's there. It's there.
You need a little. You need a little bit more. You need like.
I don't sound good when I do that. You sound good.
You literally sound like an animal. That's all. That's all that is. Okay. Like I want to love you, Melky, but I can't. All right, Melky.
It's okay.
Let me get you down here. All right, Melky. I'm gonna put you above me. You know you want to be on top, Melky. You know
it's
this.
true.
I'm gonna make
That is
myself.
a dynamic.
I'm gonna make myself smaller. I have to click 9,000 times because every one of my scenes comes with 400 things inside of it.
Add a green screen, dude.
Joke's on you. Melky's actually already in a green screen.
Yep. I'm just wide.
There we go. Melky growls like a perv.
Come here, chat.
Melky, what is this? All right, Melky, I'm sorry I have to do this to you, but I'm going to take off a little bit of your...
Delete it.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a jerk. We just, when we're doing a little bit of a read here, I don't want...
Push me to the right more. Like, put me to the right. You can take off more the other side where the pink goblin gopher is.
Okay, here you go. And then I'll go like this. I'll get that Melky.
Yeah, now I'm on top of you. Now it looks like I'm on your shoulders. Yeah! Now we can sneak... Now we can sneak into a movie if you wear like a big trench coat.
I like this.
Yeah,
we can finally get
exactly.
into that R-rated movie we both always wanted to go to. Did you hear about that? So in the 90s, Striptease came out, and it was the first NC-17 movie ever released. and a guy went in line and his wife had to go and park the car or do something. I don't know why he did it that way. But anyways, the guy was there. He sent his wife to go do the man chores. And he waited. He got up to the line and tried to buy 2 tickets, one for him, one for his wife. And they said, sorry, she must be present for you to be able to buy tickets. This is an NC-17 film, no children at all. You must prove that you are 18 or older. And so he starts getting wild. He starts getting really wild to the point where they call the police. His wife gets done parking the car, comes up. By the time she arrives on the scene, he is held down on the ground with a gun to his head, saying like, you need to stop now. Dude, the man lost his shit over striptease and got thrown in jail.
Worth it.
Worth
Worth
it.
it. He's got to fight the battles, man.
Was he from Florida? I don't know, but it's a real story. Early 90s or mid 90s. I don't know when striptease came out. All I know is I haven't seen that show. Okay. I was a child.
Something
during that
about
time.
Melky is different today. Yeah. I'm on the ThePrimeagen stream.
Yeah.
That's what's different. And I'm on his shoulders. So
Just lifting the world here. I'm gonna get you a little bit closer to those shoulders. Ah! Look at that shoulder ride. Look at that shoulder ride.
Oh.
Okay, we gotta stop doing that.
This is our ultimate form. This is
Final
when we
form
fuse,
achieved.
This is it.
All right. So I'm gonna keep the article kind of sized this way because look at this nice little sidebar. Kind of works with your little screen going on. So there we go. We're going good. Okay. So let me do a little marker here. So people, what we're doing is we're gonna have Melky join us, huh? Because Melky did point out this beautiful article, and I thought, hey, the man, the myth, the legend, Melky Dev. I know we're at a hype train level 8, but you know what? F it. I don't need your hype train. I don't need it. Okay, I want it. I want it.
If you're not lifting weights, what are you doing?
You ain't doing nothing. That's what
You ain't doing nothing.
You're sitting down, getting sedentary diseases such as heart failure.
I go to the gym, by the way.
You work out. I can tell.
Oh, Prime. Before we dive deep into this, before we dive so deep into this, your Go reaction video made my day. When I saw you absolutely fall for Go and the updates on 1.2 and the arenas, I was enjoying that piece of content so much. Smoking a cigar, having my coffee, seeing the Prime Man, smell that Go flavor in the air. I was like, yes.
But we all know we're the true. You sat up. You became erect when you saw your own name within the Go article. Okay.
I was so vertical, I couldn't stand up.
Yeah.
My desk was gonna flip if I were to stand up. I had to just sit there for the next couple of hours, just seeing my name there, clicking it, going to my profile, doing it over and over again.
Beautiful. All right. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna re-hit the start because that is just the weirdest YouTube intro. I don't think that's gonna land on YouTube. We migrated to Squeal. Our biggest learning: don't use Prisma. Melky, have you used much Prisma?
I have. Prisma comes stock in T3, and I've used Prisma a little bit here and there. It was like the client's super nice, super convenient to use.
Okay. Anytime I've ever used an ORM, I eventually have regretted it.
Yep.
Now I don't know if this is universal. Everyone, even Terso says that the Drizzle client is incredible. But generally, my general take is ORMs are great until they're horrible. Mm-hmm. Like most technology, there's a trade-off. There's something to it. So let's find out. Last week, we completed a migration that switched our underlying database from MongoDB to PostgreSQL. Nobody knows how to say this word. It is the unpronounceable word because usually it's like PostgreSQL or is it PostgreSQL? Like we don't know. Is it Postgres or Postgre?
I'm a Postgres type of gentleman. I say Postgres when I invite people to code with me.
Okay, I say Postgre. Because I feel like that's Postgre. And I don't put the S.
Squeal with me.
Yeah, because the S is a part of the squeal. Okay, anyways. We faced a lot of interesting challenges, and the biggest of them was a 2-time rewrite of the code base. A back-to-back?
Yeah.
You're doing something. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered if you've rewritten something twice. Mm-hmm. Like, I get a rewrite. Like, it does happen. but to be like, you know what, that last rewrite
Let's do it again.
We done this up. We gotta try that again.
I do want to say, I think it's a great decision. They're going from MongoDB to Postgres. When I first read that, I was like, this is a good article. I'm going to continue reading this. This hooked me in better than the Don't Use Prisma title. So I was already invested at this point.
Yep. This article is for developers considering using Prisma for their production workloads. Don't. Okay. Let's find out. Because is this a skill issue or is this like a Prisma issue? Sometimes it's just a skill issue that's, you miss something. We wrote our back end in Prisma first. So I'm not sure what that means, but let's go on. One of the biggest mistakes we did was trusting Prisma marketing blindly. Look at this beautiful landing page. Damn, this is a stomping. Next generation Node.js and TypeScript ORM. I feel like you should have known right away that this was a bad idea because it doesn't say the word Go or Rust. Like, I feel like I could just see it right away. Like, oh, you know where you screwed up.
I honestly trust websites or services where the landing page looks terrible. Like, if it looks too good, I'm like, your marketing's way too invested. I want something where it's like pure HTML, a little bit of CSS, that it's not good to look at, but when I see the code or the use case, I'm like, I love this. Because if it looks too good, I'm like, ooh, this is yes. Like,
Browserify was like the classic example of a shitty website.
See, this looks, I know the people who built this did not care about the docs or the marketing. There's an image of a wizard, some person's a kid probably made, and they're like, this is good. We're good here.
We've done it. This is peak Web 2.0. All right, anyways.
Never updated, use stock colors. Like, they're just like, yep, you know what? Let's throw this on a weekend and let's keep going.
They still think that maybe it's only 600 pixels. Like, that's all you're going to have for the screen. That's me live, by the way. I was live, by the way. Click here where my foot's pointing to. By the way, Melky streams. All right, but that's pretty much the benefits, where the benefits end. We rewrote our first version of the backend, converting the full code base from Mongoose ORM to Prisma. It looked great. By the way, I've used Mongoose, and that's I also had the exact same problem with Mongoose, which is it's great until it's horrifying. All right, problems with deployment. At CodeDam, we used AWS Lambdas for hosting our GraphQL-powered backend. The first problem we saw with Prisma, which nobody noticed earlier, is that Prisma is shipping multiple 10 to 20 megabyte engines. Dang. I've heard about this. I've heard that they have quite the load.
So I didn't know about this. Once you go deeper into this, I was reading this and I was seeing the just on the side, like the Prism documents, because I didn't hear about the engines or really didn't pay attention to the engines until this kind of opened my eyes. I'm like, what are they using the engine? And then when you see how Prisma showcases like the breakdown and the layers of abstraction and separation, you're like, I see. And then you go deeper into the hole. So.
All right. It was a shock finding out that Prisma needs almost a DB engine layer of its own. Read more about this. Okay, we can look at this later if it's worth it. Our AWS Lambda deployments were failing because we exceeded 50 megabyte limit size. I do have a question before this, which is, it's 10 to 20. Okay, so if it's multiple, meaning that you are actually taking up like 40, 50 megabytes just by Prisma engines, I get that. But if it's just one that's 10 to 20 megabytes and you're exceeding the 30, what's the other 30 doing? I got a lot of questions. They didn't kind of quite specify. We used ESBuild to build the backend TypeScript, and we had to write multiple patches in the build pipeline to remove extra engines, extra Prisma files, and node modules, and bring the deployment size under 50 megabytes. That is crazy.
This is the part where I'm like, you should have backed out here. This is the point where I'm like, you should have stopped using Prisma if you're doing all these patching, getting in here, doing some crazy stuff. But they're like, no, we did it. We spent the 2 weeks patching Prisma. Let's keep going, lads.
This doesn't scare me.
Yeah, they're like, oh, that's the worst. We're good now. We figured it out.
So what we have said running as part of our build step, it makes sense. We remove things with said. You're like, no, dude, I'm telling you, this is usually where you've gone wrong.
Yeah, I like how it's like the engines are like a core part of the Prisma, and they're like, let's just remove that. Yeah. Like, we don't let's just remove a bit of that because we don't need it. Let's make it fit under our serverless hard limits, and we're good, guys. Like, this is gonna be great.
I would like to invert it, which is, okay, multiple engines and you can just remove them and your thing works correctly. I am like by like that alone, my brain's like this. I don't know what's happening. Like, what kind of weird ass car are you driving where you can just like take out an engine? You're like, don't worry, I got a spare one in the back.
Yeah, we don't need that one.
We don't need that one.
I can drive this thing with 3 wheels, actually.
Built for low performance. Okay. Our second mistake was that we turned on emulated foreign key relation mode in Prisma. Well, I can tell you right away, this already sounds like a bad idea because the database is not supposed to emulate it. It's supposed to literally have a foreign key. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, when you go from like to a relational database, you're like, we're gonna emulate these keys that are key for any sort of relational database. Like, I'm just like, these are all red flags. I'm just like, what? Is Prisma the right architecture for me right now? Like,
I feel like there's some issues we've been solving that are kind of weird. Let's see. Initially, we wanted to use Planet Scale for our database. Wrong mistake. Should have used Terso. But it turns out that it wasn't the best choice for us either. But that's another blog post. I'd like to read it. Prisma generally and emulating foreign key relations in Prisma is a performance nightmare. Damn. Here are a few. I assume it's because what ends up happening is it makes a squeal query. It gets them all back. It gets all these emulated foreign keys. And then it makes a second follow-up query to the database to like do the relation because you can't quite do it, is my guess. I have no idea because I don't know what they're doing. Here are a few things.
Juicy.
Okay, I want to get juiced. Here are a few things that we observed when we tried to test migrations of our data from staging MongoDB to staging Planet Scale via adapters written in Prisma. You know, I would just like to take a moment here. This sentence is insane. Do you need abstraction always? Like, at what point have you just abstracted? We Prisma our Planet Scale, no edge, no database. You're like, what the hell
is that even? Just write SQL.
You got this. I'm positive you can do this. Every new insert via Prisma opened a database-level transaction. An extremely weird design choice by Prisma. I mean, is it? I mean, I like the idea of you always have transactional type of operations. Maybe you can chain them. Maybe there's some things we don't know about yet. We often would exhaust our transaction pool on Vitesse on Planet Scale.
Yeah.
And this error, we will end up a 10 to 20 seconds in migration. Oh, crazy.
Yeah,
okay.
This one to me was like, okay, yeah, that I can see how that's bad, but I was like, I'm not too shocked at that. You know, that first one, I'm like, okay, that's like an appetizer, I believe.
Yeah. Also, you know, if you have these hard limits, any kind of client that's opening up and doing transactions and all that, you should have some sort of pool in which you can, you know, or some sort of concurrent limit, something in which you can control this if you needed to. But if you're hitting a concurrent limit, you've already, like, you a while ago, right? Like, you need to back this up and go, what have I done wrong here? We were not dumping insanely. Wait, hold on. We were not dumping insanely in the Squeal database. I don't even know what the sentence means. We would hit the above error doing maybe 50 to 100 parallel insert calls in DB. Some of our collections had records well over 20 million. We couldn't wait for days to migrate since downtime was involved here.
I don't understand why we need days to migrate for downtime. You know, and you just said you're not dumping insanely into the SQL database, and you're like, but we couldn't wait days to migrate. It's like, what?
Yeah, also 20 million. For me, 20 million feels fairly insanely. If you're like, maybe not at Netflix or at Twitch, right? Those aren't insane numbers. But...
Right.
You know,
we're also not going to use Prisma to handle this stuff with that kind of traffic.
Yeah, that just sounds a little crazy. Okay, there is no concept of squeal level joins in Prisma.
This is it.
So it truly is built for something like Mongo, not Postgres. Because, like, I mean, why would you ever use a backend that is a relational database if you cannot join?
Yep. I was floored when I read this paragraph here. I was absolutely floored by it. And the fact that they offer these like join methods under the Prisma client, but really it's what you said. It's like doing one query from one table, following that up for the second query, and then doing some additional logic from those engines. I was like, people would do anything but write SQL. Like, look at the extents people go to instead of just writing SQL in the code base.
It's really not hard to be like, select ID and hairstyle from hairstyles joined with comb, right? Like, it's like,
People are like, no. We need a client that I can do a JavaScript method that calls this logic that does it for me. That's what we need.
Is squeal declarative? Okay, it might be, but I think not. I need JSX to do my squeal.
Yeah.
Like what? All right, this was one of the most shocking revelations to us. By the way, this for me, this is like a no-go. If you cannot do SQL level joins in an ORM, which this seems kind of crazy. This seems like the whole point of an ORM is so that you don't have to write squeal, but you learn a completely bespoke API. This seems crazy that you can't do it. Okay, this was one of those shocking revelations to us. In some queries we inspected that supposedly should have used squeal joins or subqueries, we discovered that at a low level, Prisma was fetching the data from both tables, then combining the results in its Rust engine. Okay, I don't know why you got to scare quotes in.
Yeah,
Rust, why you got to be like that? Okay, we know Rust is fast.
What were they trying to prove here? Rust.
I think it's because everyone's like, oh, it's Rust, it's fast. And they're just like, not fast. Performance. This actually seems just crazy to me. This was a path for absolute trash performance. So one reason why this is crazy is that often, especially on a client or the middleware server, right, where you're just trying to like get all the data and then hand it back to the client, you don't want to do a huge amount of computation there because your goal is to have like as much distributed requests as possible. So if you're joining like thousands upon thousands of rows constantly with every request and you're manually doing it, you're not even offloading to your database server. And then PlanetScale, that's the point of PlanetScale, is that you don't even do the computation, like someone else does it.
Prime, check this out. I'm going to link you a Prisma docs to show you how far they are from the actual like database, from the actual connection. So I just linked you. This is the architecture from Prisma, and the blog links it as well. But look at the layers of extractions. It's 2 layers away from your actual SQL database, and it's just like that's where you're losing so much performance and getting all this trash like. You're so far from it that of course when you're going to hit like actual data, you're just going to be hitting so many bottlenecks because you're 2 layers away from just connecting to your database and making the SQL.
I'm sure there's a really good reason to use Prisma. I'm sure someone can give me a good reason. I just don't currently see it, right? This does seem very overkill considering most people's squeal queries are literally select star from this where ID equals insert.
Yep.
Yeah. They're like exceptionally simple stuff. Most people don't like this. Ain't big data. You're not doing data analysis. You're getting data or mutating data.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. Let's this we got to keep on going. This is exciting. This path was this was a path for absolute trash performance. Are they saying something against trash dev?
I think so. I think it's a shout out for Trash Dev here.
Yeah, shout out
I think
Trash
it's like
Dev.
this is how we mimic his performance at his level.
The senior engineer, by the way. All right, once we figured this out, we were extremely doubtful about how Prisma actually emulates the foreign key constraints. Really? Now you start doubting? Now you're pressing X? Does it perform cascading select operations on all associated tables on a CUD operation? What's a CUD operation?
I also didn't know that. I just read it over. I'm like, I hope no one asked me that. So I'm just like, CUD, and I'm like, all right, let's keep going.
Is there supposed to be an R in there, like CRUD on all CRUD operations? Hey, this is a CUD operations. It's just create, update, delete. Forget the R. R.
We don't need no R's here.
Let's see. Seems like the only way. And since we saw that every insert used a transaction that has a limited pool size, I'm surprised you can't turn that off. There must be a way to turn it off. We were sure it would be a non-negotiable performance penalty for us on production workloads.
I love the wording there, non-negotiable, as if you're talking to like Prisma's agent or something. It's like you're only gonna get this many pool size. That's not part of the contract.
How about this one? We will drop squeal joins for a few more transaction pool items. No, non-negotiable. Damn.
You get what we give you. That's it. You can get something else. You can get our. We give you a pack. Like a T-shirt that says Prisma on it.
I normally don't like shitting on technologies this much, but I guess I never used Prisma, so I'm a little bit shocked at exactly what Prisma's doing or what they're. I'm confused at what it's offering. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's honestly offering convenience. Like, again, like the client is super, super convenient to use in like a JavaScript, TypeScript ecosystem. You just pull it in, like it's like a hook, and you basically just use it kind of anywhere in your code, and it's super convenient. You have these pre-built methods that allow you to kind of, not really think too deep into the SQL itself, and it works really well with other things like Zod or any other things that are part of the T3 stack. But yeah, I mean, the performance that you'll get on something that at this scale and 20 mil, like we can argue that's not that much data. Like I think you start seeing some bottlenecks, and the convenience is not so much.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. I guess I don't have enough experience with it, but like this article paints a very glib picture for its future. All right, on every insert, Prisma opens a transaction where it inserts and then returns the inserted record too, even if I don't want it.
I found this one funny.
Just FYI, returns it.
It's just like
I get why.
You don't want this.
Does Postgres do that by default, or does it not do that? I don't think it does it by default. Don't you have to call for it?
Yeah, you have to call for in Postgres.
Yeah, you have to do it same as SquealLite. You have to say like, insert whatever, and also return out the value. Which I like. I mean, I like when, especially on primary keys, when you want to get the primary key, like if it's an auto incrementing index, it's nice to be able to say, hey, give me automatically back the ID. But to get the entire record back just seems like a useless select.
Yeah.
Anyways, Squeal results. Let's see. Squeal result patching inside its own engine was a deal breaker for us. Maybe it somehow optimized it further too, but there is no way you are outperforming the database in its own game, even if you ship a 15 megabyte Rust engine to do so. Again, Rust is not going to beat it here. Further inspecting, we discover that your code never makes the actual DB call. Your Prisma code performs a GraphQL, a network request. To the Prisma Rust. Whoa! It actually does a network request.
Yeah.
Because even if you're on the same machine, this still is infinitely more expensive than not doing it. Yep. Like you could also just not do it and it's free, or do it and it costs this, which then translate your request into an actual DB calls. Really?
Yeah. So those two layers of abstractions, all like it's like a REST API that you're basically calling this query engine, the Rust engine, and then that, makes the SQL equivalent to the actual database. Okay. So it's not just like two layers separated. It's like it's like a network request, and then there's a further layer of further logic written in Rust. And it's like, well, why do you need all this? Why not just at this point, you could just probably go straight to the database. There's probably a better alternative.
I think I understand what's going on here. I don't understand why, but I understand what. They're doing the connection pool stuff here, and I think they're attempting to optimize it in some sense as being the fastest possible execution, which I totally get. You want it as fast as possible. And I think part of the reason why they came to that conclusion is that they're doing joins. And so if you're doing programmatic joins, doing that in JS would probably be an untenable operation, even in the thousands, versus in Rust, you're getting the speed, speed. But you're probably using because you don't, I'm very curious about it because, I have so many curiosities right now. All right, we're going to go back. Let's keep on. Why does it never go back to the thing I was just on? All right, dropping PlanetScale. Now, our PlanetScale database was able to pass our stress tests of inserting and reading multiple records. Okay, that's good. It, however, failed when we used Prisma because of the limited transaction pool inside Vitess, which was getting exhausted very quickly. And after that, all further calls to PlanetScale DB will fail for a few minutes. Yeah, that is just cray-cray. However, passing on PlanetScale was because of two reasons. No foreign key support. By the way, Terso just allows you to write Squeal. It's just SQLite. That's all it is. You just write Squeal, and you're done. And you can foreign key. You can build the tables how you want to. There's just none of this stuff. All seems nuts to me that these providers don't just give you edge database. These managed ideas, because it makes it simpler for developers, just seem like it's a pain in the ass. It makes it super unsimple for developers.
Yep. I mean, again, it's like the instant convenience factor, I think. I think right away you get convenience because you don't have to worry about the setting up or the infra. You just get a string, essentially, plug that into your code base. It all plays nice. And there you go. You have things that can process data super quickly. But then when you go into, a day later, you kind of realize, wait a second, a lot of stuff's going on here that isn't supposed to be going, and I need to probably, get more closer to the details, closer to the code to make it run how I want to.
I just made an edge database right there. Shall I create some tables? Like, Terso's super convenient.
Yep.
And it can have replications and all that, but you don't have to have all that extra stuff. Like, you just don't have to have all that other stuff. Okay. Yep. Anyways, it's just funny because it's a weird tech choice I don't understand yet. This is something we overlooked initially, but as we worked more and more on the migration and coming from relation data to in MongoDB, we figured out that it is a huge safety net of not making data corrupt. We had a lot of data corruption in MongoDB just because we did not respect relations among collections. Yeah, I mean, again, MongoDB's again, it's one of those conveniences you trade for pretty much everything else. Weird pricing. PlanetScale prices you on a row reads and row writes per month. What is weird is that the row reads is something that nobody controls. It is the Squeal query planner which determines the query plan, which results in how many rows you read or you are reading internally. Oh, that's kind of weird. A black box reading can be a little bit confusing. Like, I totally get if it just executes, and if you get 1 million rows, it costs 1 million reads. Remember that row reads are not row returns. You can write the wrong query that returns 0 rows, but you still do a full table scan of 1 million rows, and PlanetScale will charge you for it.
Interesting. See, I've never used PlanetScale too much. I don't know too much about it, but that seems...
That has to be wrong. This has to be wrong. I can't imagine that is true. If it is true, then that's like a huge red flag. But if it's not, because, yeah, holy cow. No VPC peering. MongoDB Atlas supported VPC peering on dedicated clusters, which avoided data flow over the internet. PlanetScale supported it only on enterprise plans. Okay, well, that's just, you got to pay to play. Okay.
Yeah, yep.
All right, Prisma plus PlanetScale built for each other, but not for production workloads.
Not for the heavy loads.
Damn.
None of those here.
This is a seething line. Like, this is as intense as it gets. PlanetScale is fine when we used independently, but Prisma might lure you in with its DX. I've been lured in by the D.
Talk to the author. The way they use the words here, like non-negotiable, it will lure you in. Prisma devs. If you're using Prisma, don't. Like, this is so great. I love the way this is written.
It's clearly not ChatGPT, which I think just makes it refreshing. Additional features like accelerate and tooling. Okay. If you love performance even 1 bit on heavy production systems, avoid using Prisma.
Prisma PR in shambles right now.
Okay, hey, if you're listening, Prisma DevRel, I'm sorry. We're not the ones saying this. We're just, don't kill the messenger. Okay, Prisma's website has a page called Why Prisma. It says 3 things: raw squeal, full control, low productivity. Wait, what? I don't get this.
Low productivity? Like,
oh, wait, I see it. Squeal query builders, high control, medium productivity. ORMs, less control, better productivity. Okay. So,
I see. Okay,
so this is the old argument that we know better. DX is more important than anything else. Hardware is super fast. You don't have to worry about this stuff, which it sounds like actually, no, you do have to worry about it. Here's the actual truth. Or here's the actual and truth version of it. Raw squeal, full control, low productivity, insane performance. Query builders, high control, medium productivity, insane performance. ORMs, less control, slightly better productivity, and syntax, bonkers performance.
Bonkers.
It's straight bonkers.
Can bonkers be good? And like, what if someone says, like, "Oh, I just built something and the performance was straight bonkers"? I'd be like, "Oh, that's great. That's amazing."
Bonkers tends to be the good side. So I just, when I read that, I'm like, "Damn, that's good performance."
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, okay. I want to use Prisma now. Bonkers performance,
blazingly bonkers."
Yeah, blazingly bonkers.
Our current stack. After evaluating multiple options, here's what we ended up with. Schema is written in Prisma. Using Prisma migration tooling for applying migrations on DB. AWS Aurora Serverless v2 Postgre. AWS Lambda linked to AWS Aurora under private VPC. No internet traffic flow. Keasley for Squeal Query Builder. Okay. Keasley is not a feature complete yet, but it has escape hatches that still allow us to keep code type safe even if we want to write raw squeal at times. Okay, so I'm going to make a quick judgment here. Again, if you just use a different language, a lot of these problems go away. Because in Go, you can't just be like, as any, right? Like you can't just do that. You have to define the thing. And so it is type safe inherently. You cannot make it untype safe like this. And so same with Rust, you have to say what it is. And when it isn't, it returns you an error when you attempt to decode it. And there's something about that is really, really nice versus this whole TypeScript thing, which is like, well, if it's wrong, but hey, we're going to give you type safety. Type safety, right?
Yeah.
Really what you're getting, so it's not really type safety as much as it is really nice LSP integration to confidently tell you what the property is, even if it's wrong. And it'll give you some sort of runtime checks to ensure you're calling the right properties because you have some level of type safety. I don't know. To me, this just seems like a whole problem we've created right here.
I think it's also worth noting here that the authors went off on Prisma, but they are still using features of Prisma, which we kind of looked over. So the schema being written in Prisma is extremely, extremely nice. You get basically this one file that just defines all your schema, defines your models, your relationships, and that is, completely separate from the actual engine or the client that Prisma provides, and that is very convenient. And it's great for migration tools. It's great for just kicking things over to the DB, creating everything. So there is, besides the wonderful use cases of Prisma outside of the schema, the schema is a really good plus of Prisma, I have to say.
Okay, so this is obviously a good selling point, which is migrations are a huge pain in the ass. They've always been a pain in the ass. There's never been a time where I've migrated a database and thought, I'm going to enjoy this. It's always just terrifying. It's just the worst experience ever. And so this is good to see. I like to hear that.
Especially going from like a NoSQL database to a SQL database, like a relational database, like that's a nightmare. Like just going from one relational database to another one, that's already like tough. NoSQL to relation, that's like, oh, like I can't even imagine that.
Yeah. Wow, this is a great article. Melky, great find. Melky, we can find you on Twitch, right? And Twitter.
Absolutely. Twitch.tv/Melky.
Right? Is it Melky Dev on Twitter and YouTube?
Yes, it's Melky Dove on Twitter and YouTube. I couldn't get the domains there. I'm in a legal battle with the Melky who owns those domains, but we're trying to get that Melky. We're trying to migrate from Melky Dev to Melky, making it seamless.
Is he milking the milk?
He is.
Bastard.
He drinks skim milk.
You know he does. You know that's just straight skim milk behavior right there. All right. The milkman. Go check out Melky right here. Melky. Oh, sorry, I'm reversed right there. Check him out. Thank you for joining us. This was a great article. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate everyone. Have a great stream. I love you guys. Peace.
Bye. All right, hey. Markers in. We're looking good. Melky left. Appreciate Melky. I'm leaving too. Get the hell out of there. Fantastic.
Welcome to Costco.
Hey, hi. How you doing? How you doing? You doing good? Thank you. That was fun. I had a lot of fun. Did you guys have a lot of fun? Miss you already. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the subs. That was a good time. That was a seething article. Mostly Agile. Can you believe that? You're 16 months here. You didn't see that one coming. Flanders Jam, how you doing? 15 months. Prisma D's nuts. Absolutely. Hey, Froggy, thank you for all these Euro dollars. Does that mean I get to
Welcome to Costco.
move my body Euro style? Okay, use Prisma or ORM if you need the join data of 2+ data type, Mongo, Squeal, KV, Store, etc. Else go native. Yeah, that is kind of interesting. I'm curious about all that. Plocio, thank you for the tier 1. Low quality, soft equals more jobbity.
Welcome to Costco.
Avco, thank you very much for the 4 months. Let's go. And Broken Potato, tier 1. Oh my goodness, I love the name. Thank you for the brand new tier 1. Borcio, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. Fraiuni. I will upload it, don't worry. And Gamer Rotelmiko, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. Demi Ion, thank you for the 10 bits, the 15 bits, the 15 bits. How much is your mustache insured for? All of it. All of it. Thank you very much. Mace the Blaze, thank you very much. Lucas, thank you for the resubscribed. And Flaptoos, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. Let's go. Why not Prisma? We literally just got done. Are you serious? Is that Did the Go video get uploaded? It did. Skill issue. They forgot Lambda layers exist. Got him. Call Theo, ban him. No, we just read that. We just read the article. But why male models? Are you serious? I'm glad somebody gets that joke. I am glad at least somebody gets that joke. Papa Owl, thank you very, very much. Thank you, oh camel, my camel. Oh my goodness, this was so good. Thank you. Thank you. Redacted. I got you. Thank you. Thank you. Most of the people watching me are redacted anyway, so they don't get it. I already did the marker. I already did it. Wait, who gifted me a sub? I'm not going to play with Prisma. We're going to do another thing.
Costco. I love you.
I do think this is awesome. I do think there's a lot to be said about any ORM. I mean, it's the exact reason why I tend to avoid ORMs. Which is, they always end up with some weird things. What do you think about Drizzle? I hear good things about Drizzle. The people I trust the most with databases, which are the Terso folk. Again, I know I keep saying that. The people that I trust the most are them. And they... Oop, hold on.
Slash.
I'm just waiting for D's nuts to drop on me. Slash. He must have screwed it up. I know. We're all waiting. Slash. Anyways,
D's nuts.
Dang it! I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was coming. I got cooked. I got barbecued on that one. Damn it. Radius coming in with 100 bones. Thank you very much for the holy cow. Thank you, Radius. Holy moly, boomer. You're a boomer. Easy double fake, dude. I actually thought wow. You got me with that one, Shy Rye. Maybe a short. Maybe a short. We'll do that one. Maybe, I don't know. Damn, new windows on the house now. I know. We're getting that windows on the house, baby. That was beautiful. All right. All right, what is your opinion on squeal builders? I'm not opposed to squeal builders. I'm not opposed to ORMs, right? Like, I think there's reasons why you'd want to use an ORM. I think there's reasons why you'd want to use squeal builder, and I think there's reasons why you want to raw dog squeal. Like, it's not raw dogging squeal. I can understand there's a lot of dangers to it, right? You need to make sure you're always cleaning all your data. You don't want to get little bobby tables getting into your data, stuff like that. And so there's a good reason to have some sort of layer that kind of protects you from it. I'm on that team, right? I am totally on that team. Does the Edge DBs on Terso support writes? Is it read-only? No, let's see. So the replicas don't support writes. Obviously, the replicas don't. Replicas are for reading. The main one's for writing. And so, yeah, that's how it does, obviously, some sort of eventual consistency on that. So your replicas are going to be behind by a second or whatever, you know. Can you tell us more exactly your relationship with Terso? Oh, I own part of the company. I own a very tiny bit of the company. I use their product, and I own a little bit of it. They approached me a while ago, and I didn't really love their product, and I was just like, yeah, I'll talk about it. I like the idea. But then they pivoted because I was just like, I really just want raw squeal, right? I just want raw squeal. And they said, yeah, we're going to do raw squeal. And then they support Rust, Go, and TypeScript, right? So it's not just a singular language. They do all the right things, which is give me a squeal client, make it abstracted from any ORM so any ORM can use it, and I need it in real languages. It can't just be TypeScript. Please don't make it a TypeScript-only thing. And it's not TypeScript-only. It's Rust and it's Go, right? So it did all the right things for me. I just want an effing relational database that is fast, that I can, that I can use and have replications, and I want it to be cheap, right? They actually support all the languages by having a REST API for the queries. Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things that are really good. What do you think of Drizzle? Drizzle seems interesting. Drizzle seems very interesting. Is a Terso prod ready? I mean, they seem to be prod ready. I mean, they've been around for a couple years. The people who write it, again, one of the reasons why I said, okay, I could use you guys is that when I look at a product that's going to be intense like a database, I need to know who are the people working on it, right? That is the most important question. The qualifications of the Terso team are the best in the industry. 20 years core Linux contributors, followed by ScyllaDB. Okay? One of them, all he did, Glauber, all he did was did performance tuning of ScyllaDB for 2 years. That's it. That's it. Nothing else. He literally just did nothing but syscalls and flame graphing, and that's it for 2 years straight on ScyllaDB. He's extremely, extremely, extremely smart. The other person also worked on nothing but ScyllaDB. I don't know the other one. So the two co-founders are both Linux nerds for 2 decades, followed by multiple years at ScyllaDB. So it's right. Unfortunately, their landing page does look too good. Yeah, they really messed that up. Bun 1.0 is coming? Oh, really? When? Link me. Glauber, I barely know her. Okay, you calm down. So that's why I like it. That's why I like it. And so when I saw all the qualifications, then I asked him, how do I get involved? Right? When they were a TypeScript only thing, I said, I don't want to be involved. I will talk about your product once because it has an interesting thing, but that's it, right? So that I don't know about. Yeah, I've never used this. I've never used their query thing. Is Terso reads the query planner, reads or return the reads? I don't know what you're trying to ask me. Terso is SQLite. It's just SQLite, but they take care of the hosting, the distributing, the worldwide, the routing. They take care of everything. So Terso, they just launched it here. Fine, we're gonna do this. Okay, now I feel like a sellout. Now I actually feel like Terso talk. I feel like a sellout now. Okay, shut up. I guess I'm being a sellout. Pricing, pretty good pricing. Free forever. Lots of storage. Lots of reads. Lots of writes. Obviously, 25 million writes, 1 billion reads. It is just what you read. It's not some made-up number. $29. You get a lot more. 100 billion reads, 100 million writes. Plus, it will also scale if you need more of it. And then you got the unlimited enterprise version, which is you just need unlimited everything. Right, there you go. The Shilligen. I'm shilling. The selloutagen. I'm selling out. Okay, I want them to be successful because they are the right one. #ad. I think they are the right one. Yes, the reason why it's free and sustainable is because SquealLite isn't insane, right? They're not writing insane clients. They're writing highly memory optimized clients. It's extremely, extremely small. You know what I mean? I have no idea. So they do a great. They're good, but you should. But here's the deal: use the one you want and find the limits. Try this is why you write personal projects. Don't take my word for it. You don't have to take my word for it. Write a personal project. I mean it. Write a personal project. Find out what you like and don't like. Because if you just take some influencer's word for it, you're going to be upset because the dude's a lawnmower. Right? The dude's a lawnmower. They didn't fork. They're contributing to libsqueal and libsqueal client. Right? That's what you do. You can take an influencer's word for what you can check out. You don't take it out for what you should use. That's what you should do. I like what I like, and that's what I'm going to like, okay? But I like JavaScript, then go for it. Like JavaScript. Right? SquealLite is annoying with migration sometimes. Altering tables sometimes requires recreating it. Yeah, no, that's too much thinking. Yeah, obviously SquealLite is not nearly as complete, but most people don't use all the features of PostgRE. Okay? Anyways, let's go on. Let's move on. All right, I want to look at some of these things. Let's move on. We're spending too much time dicking around, people. All right. We're gonna let's see. Why is it necessary to shoot yourself in the foot? Okay, this seems kind of exciting. Okay, this actually seems kind of exciting. I like sleep, but I do not get as much of it anymore. I get pretty good sleep. Do I need to use their language-specific API, or can I use something that Python already has? They technically, you have to be able to connect to their server. I was surprised when Prisma has no disable option for replica MongoDB. I refuse to connect to my single instance of MongoDB, and there's no option to disable that. So you're limited to spinning up 2 or more instances of Mongo. Really? That also doesn't seem... See, I mean... Dude, why I hate frameworks article. I think I already did that. Where is this? Why? I don't see it. Where is it? I don't see it. What's this why I hate framework article? Another one? Can you react to my tweet about CRUD with Rust? No.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
All right, we'll do. Okay. There's some good ones here. Real talk, Primeagen. About 12 years ago, I benchmarked using SquealLite versus NSA or NS Archive, first gen iPhone, and it was 50x slower to read data from. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's fine. This was 12 years ago. It's completely irrelevant, right? I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. It's just irrelevant. CPU instructions have massively changed. Technologies have massively changed. Compilers have massively changed. The world has massively changed in 12 years. You know what I mean? Let's see. Ever thought about migrating out of Reddit? I mean, what would I migrate to? Prime, your code didn't run on my Apple too, so it's bad. Yeah, I have massively changed. It's pretty good. Yeah, SquealLite is incredible at reads now. SquealLite is super fast. SquealLite is optimized for reads. Twitch stream only, baby. Twitch stream only, baby. All right, hey. All right, so let's do this thing. Let's mark this. I want to do this. How you doing, new staff member? I haven't seen you before. Garrison, how you doing? Are you Mr. Garrison? Why? Let's see. We'll build the other thing using HTMX no camel. Absolutely. Who paid $100? Radius, man. Good guy, Radius. Thank you very much. Why it's necessary to shoot yourself in the foot. All right. All right, I'm going to turn this down. I'm going to turn this down. We'll keep a little bit of it going just so you can have a little bit nice. All right. I'm going to get started. Here we go. Hey, where is my... There you go. Where are you? Hey, talk, people. Talk. Are we not showing up? Why are you guys dead? Okay. I already turned off alerts, okay? I'm like a genius. I'm an effing genius these days. Why it's necessary to shoot yourself in the foot. Without shooting yourself in the foot, learning lacks motivation. Complexity without reason is really confusing. Okay, so I'm very excited about this because this is like this is my big worry about AI. This is my big worry about ChatGPT. This is my big worry about a lot of these future texts, which is, okay, I'm going to give you my hypothesis of the world, so I hope you're ready, which is that experts who use AI will become even more experts. Novices who use AI will remain novices. I think the only thing these AI things will do is make the gap, the moat, wider on experts. It's not going to make it smaller. That's my personal opinion, because one of the biggest ways you become an expert is by doing something wrong and doing it over and over again. And you have to do it wrong enough times that you see the right way to do something. Right? And so if you don't know how these things work, if you don't have the deep understanding, you slowly lose it. It's harder to bridge that gap. And the gap just gets wider and wider. It's one of the reasons why I have a problem with all of the abstraction that we do today in modern web development, is that it's really good. It makes really amazing things, and it's awesome that I don't have to think about deployment and all this kind of stuff. And there's a lot of cool stuff about serverless that I really, really like, blah, 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 blah. But in the end, at the end of the day, if you don't know how it works, that moat is wide. Do you need to know how it works? No. You can be successful without ever knowing how it works, but you will always have this huge knowledge gap, which costs, right? It always will cost when a problem comes up, right? It just does. Ooh, I think I like this. The level of novices will increase, though. They will be able to solve problems they could not before. But improving this approach is hard. But that's the problem, is if you solve levels you are not meant to solve at your skill level, you may be able to solve it. But what is your debug time? Do you rely on the same tool that produced the buggy code to learn how to solve it? And then you're never doing that exercise. You know how much intuition I've built up from just debugging? Right? I can see something that's gone wrong. I can think of an error. I can put 1 or 2 print statements, and I can determine what happened to an entire system because I just have such a good intuition about it because of years of debugging. Anyways, I hope that this is what this article is about. I really do hope that this is what this is. You know what I mean? At the Recurse Center, February 2020, I watched a talk during presentations about someone optimizing a database engine. It was really complicated, and I remember nothing about the talk itself. What I do remember is thinking to myself, this seems really complicated for no good reason. Keep in mind, I had never made a web application at the time, and when I needed to store data, I just used a CSV file or a Python pickle file on the disk. This is a great recognition of your own shortcomings. I thought a file system was sufficient for storing data. Fast forward a few months, I'm building my first web application. I don't remember what it was for, but I remember using a CSV file as the database. I had to load the file into memory every time I wanted to look something up, and it was a big pain. I now understood why using a database is, and sometimes, a good idea. This is also me. This is me learning. This is me learning to a T, which is that, like, for me to discover something is good or to discover something is bad has almost universally always been me doing something that should not have been done a certain way, and I learn why it is. Whereas if I just read why you should do something optimized, it doesn't, like, set into my heart. Do you understand? Like, it doesn't mean the same thing if I don't understand the principles behind it. You know what I mean? I feel personally called out. Yeah. Learning Rust, July 2020. I started learning about the borrow checker. It prevents you from keeping a pointer to an item of a vector. Yep. If you pass the vect as a mute. I don't really get why this is necessary. I have never done low-level programming before. I have never used pointers, and now I'm being told that following the borrow checker is safe. It's still very confusing to me. This is great. This is great. Fast forward when hey, if you're following me and I'm causing you to learn Zig and Rust, I'm very sorry. Fast forward to when I'm writing Zig code. I take array list item, append it to array list, and then I try to write to the stored pointer. I get a seg fault. Now I get the problem Rust solves. I love this. This is such a good article. This is exactly what so many people need to have. And it's one of the problems why if you don't ever do C, I feel like some of the things that are really nice about Zig are lost on you, right? If you've never done, certain languages, it's just your brain can't think in a certain way until it sees a different perspective. It's very interesting. Learning Vue, July 2020. Why are all those complicated ways to represent state? Shouldn't developing a web app be simpler than this? After writing a bunch of vanilla JS, I can see why these frameworks could be useful. I could never made a very big web app, but I could see that keeping track of state and what is or isn't rendered is hard, and it gets much harder with a bigger web app. Absolutely. To fully understand a best practice or why something is necessary, it's important to experience how things go wrong without it. Yes! When teaching programming, we should let people make these mistakes and then show them the tools to correct them. Absolutely. This is why one of my big things is that go to Advent of Code, learn a new language, learn just a little bit about the language, just enough to solve one problem, and then try to solve the next problem with just your little bit of knowledge. And you're going to run into all these weird things. You're going to do a whole bunch of weird stuff, and you're going to be like, man, this is difficult to do this. I can't express that. Oh, I don't really like this. Oh, man, OCaml kind of sucks for these reasons. And then you go and read the docs for a second and go, whoa, look at that. I love this. I love that. Oh, my goodness. And then you go back and you solve that problem that you just kind of struggled on, and it's like instantly easy. And instead of understanding here, you understand here. And that's like the big difference. That's what makes a really great programmer is when you understand it in the heart, right? You understand it at a fundamental level that's just different than going, oh, you should always use enums because they are heterogeneous, right? Understanding in the nipples, right in the nipples. Just giving someone a complicated tool without a salient reason to explain its complexity will just make them really confused. Some opinions. You should store stuff in CSV files before using a database. You should learn Zig or C before you learn Rust. You should write a web app in Vanilla.js before you learn a framework. You should write a game from scratch before using Unity. You should use Java C from the command line before using an IDE. These are actually really, I say a lot of very similar things. I may not say Java C because I don't recommend using Java, but use Vim, right? Learn how your thing works. Learn how your environment works. Then go back to the IDE if you want to. Totally cool. Know what sed, awk, and JQ do. Learn grep, xargs, parallel. Learn just a couple of them because parallel is one of the greatest tools ever. And if you don't know parallel, you're an ignorant slut. You have no idea how good parallel is. It solves an incredible amount of your things that suck. Just an incredible amount of things. Anyways, if you had an experience like this, email this guy right here. Dude, that is such a bold statement to put your email out, but hey, I love it, Jacob. This was an amazing article. This was perfectly written. It was right to the point, and it really just shows how someone learns. Doing the right thing at the right scale until that scale changes or the problem changes can instantly become the wrong thing, and you will know why, and you'll understand deep down why it's wrong. Love it. Examples on why use parallel. Okay, here's an example for you. I have a program that has to go fetch data, and I can't do massive joins. I have to use a REST API to go get a bunch of stuff, and it's just not available for me to do it. And so I have a max number of parallel requests one can make. And so what I did is I created a program that reads in from the standard in. Every single line that comes in is a JSON object. It decodes the objects, builds out the query, sends it out to the REST API, and now I can say, hey, parallel, give me 4 running parallels and run them all together, then all the output goes to the next file. So I can stage all my changes. So that way it's running as efficiently as possible, and I don't write some stupid multi-threaded application. I write the world's dumbest script to go and get this thing done, and it just does everything for me. Now, the nice parts with GNU Parallel is you can do the same thing, except for if you're doing something with the file system, you're doing searching, you're doing replacing, you're going through big files, you're doing JQ, you're doing whatever you want to do, you can make it parallel and then make all the output join back together on standard in or standard out. It's beautiful. It's truly it's a great design. GNU Parallel. It's very, very good. But it's one of these things that you don't know you need it until you know you need it. I'm over here writing these really, really complex, dumb articles, these dumb scripts that are multi-threaded and doing stuff, and that's not what I want to do, right? I want to write a simple script and then have something that is designed to do it for me, right? It's glorious. You know what I mean? The name. This is the Unix philosophy. This is the name is I do appreciate some aspects of the Unix philosophy, Jen. There we go. Too long, too good. All right, let me turn on alerts. All right, I owe some thank yous. That was really good. I really like that. Hey, Zika, thank you. Hey, Prime, I've been clean from speed since February. Nice. Touched grass. Touch grass helped the Justice Palace of Belgium help improve their protocols because their metal detector was broken, and I went through it with a button cell battery and stuff. I got my first 100% for networking, so I'll be moving on to CCNA 301. Thanks for making a video from meth to Netflix. Hope you're doing well, but I haven't watched the stream for a while. Hey, I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well, Zika. Appreciate the nice message. Thank you so much. Hey, Just Echo, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. Radius, you've already done enough. Sir, you've already done enough. Hit Dev, thank you for the resubscribe. Appreciate that. And again, Radius, thank you for the 100. The hundo. That's great. Script a nipple gen. Hey, Prime, do you have any promo code for the AG1 drinks? No. The name is the Parallelogram. I haven't used Dark Browser. I honestly, there has to be a real reason why I need to use a new browser. I bought the interpreter and compiler books you mentioned. Which one should I start with? Interpreter is part 1. Compiler is part 2 of the book. Yeah. I'm really curious what's advent of code. Google it. You can't be that curious if you're asking me. Radius, so the thing about front-end masters is that it's all about what you're interested in. So the thing is that for the most part, it's pretty good. Like, I bet you the gem course, let's see, oh my goodness, gems, let's see, full stack, it's probably pretty good. He's going to give you a lot of good information. I might even just listen over it one day just to kind of hear it all so I can go, okay, no gaps in anything he's mentioned. Because sometimes you just have gaps, right? You don't mean to have gaps, but sometimes you have gaps, right? And I also wanted to do a big shout out to Mario, Lithium, and Sprees. Thank you very much for all the support. And of course, Radius, thank you also for the support. And of course, my man, Trading Peter, thank you very much. Is this the same gem from Netflix? Yeah, the same gem from Netflix. Right? I enjoyed, yeah, there might be something I'm missing. Are you referring to, what you're referring to as the Primeagen is actually GNU, the Primeagen philosopher. Yeah, which I've recently taken to saying GNU plus the Primeagen. Real big thigh gaps. Arc is incredible. Switched at home 6 months ago, and it worked last month. It comes with to all platforms. I know, but I have to know why. What does it do that makes it better? I use the stupidest things. I don't use anything. GNU / the Primeagen. Interpret. There you go. You can get 30% off if you just use my name. I get $0. I get $0. We did this intentionally. Did you see there's a new part of that copy pasta? There's a new part of the copy pasta? Why is serverless popular? Because you don't have to manage servers, right? So if you're going to be building out some startup and it needs to kind of work everywhere and it needs to be reasonably fast, serverless does have a lot of nice things about it. You don't have to think about your uptime and all this kind of stuff. It just kind of works long as AWS is still up. AWS is like, what, 6 nines? So pretty good, right?
Welcome to Costco.
Oh, it's iOS only? Yeah, then I don't care. Hey, Prime, random question. What do you think about NixOS? Sorry, I have kids. I have a wife. I can't use NixOS. I love the idea of it. Serverless saves a lot of problems. Scaling infrastructure. It's huge for small companies. Yeah, exactly. I could see serverless being just a just fine solution to, like, if you don't think you're ever going to have more than, if you think you're going to have a very wide-ranging amount of customers who really need your software up, and maybe it's thousands of customers, they're not accessing it constantly. It's not a heavily state-driven application. Probably just fine, right? I mean, I think there does come a point when you know you have to jump off. Zedrana, thank you very much. 343. Serverless is awful because they're a separate SDK for every provider. Yes, that's the inverse of these things. Is that, I mean, ultimately at the end of the day, you are locked into almost everything you use, anyways, right? The cons of serverless, you got cold startup times. You have to write your code in such a way that works with serverless, which means that everything you use has to be serverless technology, right? There can be no state on your system ever. So, you know, like you can't just have, you have to write everything that way, right? Which can be very confusing. So another thing is that imagine you have a database. Your database is in the US and you get a serverless call in Singapore. It's going to pop it up. It's going to go all the way to the US, do its stuff, and come all the way back, right? So there's some, you know, it's not great, right? Serverless price can be crazy, right? It starts off super cheap. The thing is if you don't have a lot of users, serverless is fine. It costs nothing. It's just once you need to scale to a lot of users, serverless can become excessively expensive because you have all these vendor lock-ins for everything. Oh, you need login? Oh, use Clerk. Well, Clerk costs money once you cross a certain boundary. Oh, you need this? Use that. Oh, you need this? Use that. All of a sudden, you have like 10 different things that are going to take money from you when you reach a certain scale. And you're going to go from paying nothing to all of a sudden thousands of dollars a month, maybe tens of thousands of dollars a month, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, right? It can expand really quickly, right?
Welcome to Costco.
Mazzola, it's been 2 months already? Well, yeah, it has. Let's see. Do you know RMS has seen the I just like to interject moment copy pasta and has responded in the funniest possible way? Incorrect quotation. A quotation circulates on the internet attributed to me, but it wasn't written by me. Here's the text that circulated. Most of it was copied from statements I have made, but the part italicized here is not from me. But it makes points that are mistaken or confused. I would just like to interject for a moment. This is definitely... This statement was made. What you're referring to as Linux is in fact GNU Linux, or I've recently been calling it GNU plus Linux. Linux is not an operating system. Yes. Like, I love how this is like the sticking point off the rip. Like, none of this was a problem. This is so good onto itself, but rather, I'm confused. What's the end of the sentence? All this was interjected then? I'm confused what the thing was. Anyways, but rather another free component of fully functioning GNU system made useful by the GNU core libs, shell utilities, and vital system components comprised a full OS and defined by POSIX. Many computer users run a modified version of GNU system every day without realizing it. Though a peculiar turn of events, the version of GNU, which is widely used today, is often called Linux, and many of its users are not aware that it is basically the GNU system developed by the GNU project. There really is a Linux, and these people are using it, but it is just part of the system they use. Linux is the kernel. The program is the system that allocates the machine's resources to the other programs that you run. The kernel is an essential part of the operating system, but useless by itself. It can only function in the context of a complete operating system. Linux is normally used in combination with the GNU operating system. The whole system is basically GNU with Linux added, or GNU Linux. The so-called Linux distributions are really distributions of GNU Linux. So in other words, he pretty much just said this. This guy sounds fun at parties. Whoa, stop saying, Linux is the kernel? When you say Nix OS, what you're really saying is GNU plus Linux plus the Nix organizational patterns and programs and tools that are vital to an operating system, but not necessarily needed for all operating systems, but some environments do favor them over other environments. Anyways, the main error is that Linux is not strictly speaking part of the GNU system, whose kernel is GNU herd. The version with Linux we call GNU Linux. Is it okay to call it GNU when you want to be really short, but is it better to call it GNU Linux? So it has to give Torvald some credit. We don't use the term core libs, and I'm not sure what that would mean, but GNU is much more than a specific packages we developed for it. I set out in 1983 to develop an operating system, called it GNU, and that job required developing whichever important packages we could not find elsewhere. I'm not going to lie to you, this is incredible though. Can you just imagine a day? Like, I know this is impossible to understand, especially in today's modern world, especially with people that just don't even have the foundational knowledge of, like, going through, a comp sci program. That, like, if all you know is React, imagine a day in which you log on and there's nothing. You're like, I want to make a computer run. Right? Like, that's vastly different world than the world we live in. No matter how not fun this may be at a party, you got to put a little bit of respect on this, okay? You got to put some respect right here. This is crazy, okay? You know what? You get to say, well, actually, all you want. You get to wear a fedora as much as you want to. If you're like, back in 1983, I decided to make an operating system the world is going to use forever. You're like, oh, okay. And you've been saying it wrong the whole time. Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I should have just used GNU for short or GNU plus Linux. Anyways, I guess I'm going to get back to writing TypeScript, which TypeScript is a language in which compiles to JavaScript, which is a language that gets compiled to bytecode that runs in V8, which when V8 runs it enough times and keeps enough state, it then actually compiles it to it does a JIT, compiles it to this kind of machine-like code, but not quite machine code. It runs significantly faster, but still slower than C++. And then that, in turn, gets run by some other engine, which actually then runs it on the machine itself. a gen. Thank a boomer. Hey, you know what? Thank a boomer for the operating system. Hey, we just got rated by Retire in Progress. Hey, thank you so much, Retire in Progress. Appreciate that. I actually went over and tried to watch your stream. It was in a language in which I was unfamiliar with, so I watched for a while. Didn't understand anything. You wouldn't understand. I was the Discord copy pasta meme. It was a real stream. I didn't understand. Thank you very much. Mazzola, how you doing? What you refer to as the Primeagen is actually a very complicated system that comprises an awesome mustache, a hacker hoodie, and a beautiful wife, and years of experience writing blazingly fast code. Does this stream ever code anymore? We want the Hoff. Beastco, you know I code 4 nights a week on this stream. You know this. Hey, no problem. Hey, thank you. That was great. All right, let's do this one. I actually really want to do this one. I've been really looking forward to this one, which is, how do they refer to it? All right, this one, we'll figure out the name of this one. I don't know what the name of it. Maybe it's called, we'll call this one Modern Software Development for now. I don't know. I've been on vacation. I hear that you die. Oh, Shy Rai.
Ganu //
Ganu.
Jabated.
Nope, not falling for it. Here it comes. Here it comes. 3, 2, 1. These nuts. These nuts. Damn. Okay, maybe I just was debated. Okay, I got debated. Come on! Why does this keep happening? Slash. That second slash gives it away that I'm about to get debated. Damn it. I'm still waiting. I'm actually still waiting right now. All right, here we go. We're going to start again. Let us go. Let's find a song that's not too, let's find a nicer song. All right, here we go. Are you guys ready for this one? Oh, look at this website. You know this website is written masterfully. Modern Software Development Summarized. Originally titled Why I Hate Frameworks by Benchy Smith. Let's pretend I've decided to build a spice rack. I've done small woodworking projects before, and I think I have a pretty good idea of what I need. Some wood, a few basic tools, a tape measure, a saw, a level, and a hammer. If I were going to build a whole house rather than just a spice rack, I'd still need a tape measure, a saw, a level, and a hammer, among other things. So if I go to the hardware store and buy the tools and I ask the sales clerk, where can I find a hammer? A hammer, he asks. Nobody really buys a hammer anymore. They are kind of old-fashioned. Surprised at this development, I'd ask him why. Well, the problem with hammers is that there are so many different kinds. Sledgehammers, claw hammers, ball-peen hammers. Wow. Everyone loves a good old-fashioned ball-peen hammer. What if you bought one kind of hammer and then realized that you needed a different kind of hammer later? You'd have to buy a separate hammer for your next task. As it turns out, most people really want a single hammer that can handle all of the different kinds of hammering tasks you might encounter in your life. I feel like I can see where this is going. Well, I suppose that sounds all right. Can you show me where to find a universal hammer? No, we don't sell those anymore. They're pretty obsolete. Really? I thought you just said the universal hammer was the wave of the future. As it turns out, if you make only one kind of hammer capable of performing all the same tasks of those different kinds of hammers, then it isn't very good at any of them. Driving a nail with a sledgehammer isn't very effective, and if you want to kill someone, there's really no substitute for a ball-peen hammer. No! No! What? Really, a quite factual statement. No one wants to kill someone with a sledgehammer. What are you, a warrior from Diablo 4? Okay, us regular humans use ball-peen. All right, that's true. So if nobody buys universal hammers anymore, and if you're no longer selling all those old-fashioned kinds of hammers, what kind of hammers do you sell? Actually, we don't sell hammers at all. So, well, according to our research, what people really need wasn't a universal hammer after all. It's always better to have the right kind of hammer for the job. So we started selling hammer factories capable of producing whatever kinds of hammers you might be interested in using. All you need to do is staff the hammer factory with workers, activate the machinery, buy the raw materials, pay the utility bills, and presto, you'll have exactly the kind of hammer you need in no time flat. This article is getting a little too close to home right now. Is this where we get that the phrase, like, just a hammer in search of a nail? Is this where the golden hammer anti-pattern comes from? But I don't really want to buy a hammer factory. That's good because we don't sell them anymore. But I thought you just said, we discovered that most people don't actually need an entire hammer factory. Some people, for example, will never need a ball-peen hammer. Maybe they've never had to kill someone. No! Dude, why is that analogy even present? What is this? ¿Por qué Maria? ¿Por qué Maria? Or maybe they killed them with ice picks instead. So there's no point in someone buying a hammer factory. They can produce every kind of hammer under the sun. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So instead, we started selling schematic diagrams for hammer factories, enabled our clients to build their own hammer factories, customized, engineered to manufacture only the kinds of hammers they would actually need. Let me guess, you don't sell those anymore? Nope, sure don't. As it turns out, people don't want to build entire factories just to manufacture a couple hammers. Leave the factory building up to the factory building expert. That's what I always say. And I would agree with you there. Yep, so we stopped selling those schematics and started selling hammer factory building factories. Each hammer factory is built for you by the top experts in the hammer factory business, so you don't need to worry about all the details that go into building a factory, yet you still get all the benefits of having your own customized hammer factory, churning out your own customized hammers according to your own specific hammer designs. Well, that doesn't really... I know what you're going to say, and we don't sell those anymore either. For some reason, not many people were buying the hammer factory, so we came up with a new solution to address them. When we stepped back and looked at the global tool infrastructure, we determined that people were frustrated with having to manage and operate hammer factories, as well as the hammer factory that it produced. That kind of overhead can get pretty cumbersome when you deal with the likely scenario of also operating a tape measure factory, and a saw factory, and a level factory, not to mention a lumber manufacturing conglomerate holding company. When we really looked at the situation, we determined that it's just too complex for someone who really wants to build a spice rack. Yeah. No kidding. So this week, we introduced a general-purpose tool-building factory, so that all of your different tool factories can be produced by a single unified factory. The factory will produce only the tool factories that you actually need, and each of those factories will produce a single factory based on your custom tool specifications. Okay, this is actually really starting to sound like front-end development. Okay, now we're finally getting somewhere. See, this whole time I was like, they're not abstract enough, but finally we're just starting to scratch the surface, okay? I assume this is an allegory about React server components. The final set of tools that emerge from this process will be the ideal tools for your particular project. You'll have exactly the hammer you need, the exact right tape measure for your task, and all at the press of a button, though you may have to deploy a few configuration files to make it all work according to your expectations. So you don't have any hammers. None at all. No. If you really want a high-quality, industrial engineered spice rack, you desperately need something more advanced than a simple hammer from a rinky-dink hardware store. And this is the way everyone is doing it now. Everyone is using a general-purpose tool-building factory now, whenever they need a hammer. Yes. Well, all right. I guess that's what I'll have to do. If this is the way things are done now, I guess I'd better learn how to do it. Good for you. This thing comes with documentation, right? Right? You just got, you just got to see the tweet. The tweet was obvious. The tweet was there in front of us. Straight meme machine. You know it. Shut it down. You know for a fact that's how it works. Lightestor. I'm going to thank you in a moment. The name is I do write memes, and that was such an excellent article. I actually do want to take a second and say something about it. Here's one thing that you guys really got to know is that there is a time for a factory, and I do not doubt it. I am fully on board that some levels of abstraction are truly wonderful, but there is something that happens when all you do is rely on abstractions. You don't learn the underlying concept. Take a moment and understand how to build a spice rack with a hammer, okay? Just get the hammer out, get some nails, get a little bit of wood glue, and just try it out yourself. You know why? Because when you go to the factory, and that factory produces factories that produce the tool you want in a factory, you're going to understand how at least that inner factory works, and it is going to be incredible. Take a moment and understand your environment. I cannot say it enough. Thank you, Lightestor. The name is ThePrimeagen. You can't just make a general spice rack for everybody? No, you can't, Shellstastic. Alerts back on. I actually forgot that you did that, Lightestor.
Welcome to Costco.
Oh, did you see me flinch? I thought it was going to happen. I thought, is that factory? Okay.
That's security.
Man's never been to IKEA. Just buy the effing spice rack from IKEA. Hey, Very Crushed, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. I appreciate that. Lightestor giving out 111 subs. I love the repeating numbers. There's like few things in my life that I don't understand why. Like, did you know that when I used to wake up every day at 2:22, and I even remember closing my eyes for minutes on time and being like, not even gonna look at the clock, it's bullshit. And I did for like 3 weeks straight, every single night. And the weird part is, so did my mom. We lived in the same place. This was right after I got done smoking meth and kind of coming around in my life and the whole everything moment, right? And dropped out of college, blah, 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 blah. And I remember,
welcome to Costco. I love you.
I would wake up in the morning and my mom would look at me and go, it happened, didn't it? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, it happened to me too. And I was just like, this is so wild. And it just kept happening and happening and happening. It was so strange. Dongalias. The factory functor. Okay, Lightestor. I'm trying to do quick math. Okay, so you were at 111, now you're at 142. What happened? I don't know. Dude, thank Lightestor. You don't have to keep doing this. You're like brand new to this stream, and you've done already more than you ever have needed to. That's 222. I beat the math before it did it. It's 222. I beat the math before it even did it. Hey, please, you've done it. You've nailed it. You've crushed it. You do not need to do it ever again. I cannot believe it. Thank you so much. Everybody give Lightestor some claps. Some clippity claps. Clippity claps. Claps. Just effing clap for him. Thank you very, very much, Lightestor. I
love you.
Shook. Okay, I'm shook. Shook right now. We're all shook. Lithium in shambles. Lithium is in shambles, Teach. By the way, hey, Dan T, thank you very much for that. By the way, TJ and I are in talks thinking about the next VimCon.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
VimConf, not con.
Get me the meat.
It's not a con.
And give it to me raw.
VimConf. I want it to be very clear that I think it's going to be, we're really going to set the bar high for this one. We're going to really think about this one, and we're going to really make something incredible. Okay? Like, I do mean it. We're going to make something incredible. Last year, we made it really wide and talked about all different kind of editors and all that. This year, we're going to make it really narrow and make it incredible. No, don't even make that joke. Get out of here. If there's any dev companies that want to sponsor, we're going to make it incredible. And the best part is that there's going to be like 3,000 people watching it. I love NeoVimConf. We're going to make an amazing one. It's going to be European. It's going to be during this time of the day. Right? We're going to only make it, we're only going to do like, we've been talking. I don't know if this is true yet. TJ, I don't want to give away too much of the sauce, but maybe only have 6 presentations. 8 presentations. Make it tight, right? Make it tight, one day, make it incredible. And if this one goes very successful and we're able to get some sponsorships and we do a really good job, I want to actually take it. And we might do it in person the following year, 2024. Plus, I love the number 2024. Something about that feels so good. I love 12 is such a good number. I don't know why 12 is such a good number. Do you like 12? I love 12. And the funny thing is I don't like 12 because it's 2 6s. I love 12 because it's 5 and 7. Something about 5 and 7 just feels so right together. I just love it. I don't get it. I love it. It's just so good. It's just so good. Thank you very, very much again. Ladastor. Appreciate that. 144 is a nice number. I agree. It's definitely better than 2023. 2023 feels all wrong. 2023, the number itself feels wrong. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I have these weird things where I like numbers, and I don't understand why I like some numbers. Like, I just feel attracted to them, right? Like 8 times 6. I don't know what it is, but I just love those two numbers together and multiplied. Why? I don't get it. Why do I like numbers? It doesn't make any sense. Hey, thank you for the 300 biddies. You know what I mean? 2023 has been a shit year for my family, but 2024 is going to be a shittier. I feel it in my thighs. Oh, don't say that, Danaville. I hate hearing that. I hate hearing that, man.
This goes out to the Primeagen.
Heart goes out. Everybody, give Danaville some hearts, please. We got to give him a couple hearts. Okay, I hate hearing that. You know, family's the most important thing. Take that time. Be with them. Love it. Hey, thank you. Again, 35. You didn't have to do 35. Holy cow, you've already done everything you need to do. David Syntax, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Holy cow, you've already done it. You've nailed it. Give Dan some loves. So you're a 6'8" guy instead of an 8'6". Yeah, I'm an 8'6" instead of a 6'8". Yeah. 8'6" equals 2 to the 3 times 3 times 2. It's beautiful. Maybe that's why. I don't know. It just feels good. It just feels good. You know, I don't know what it is. I just got a gift. I wanted to say thank you. Are you guys ready for another one? You guys ready for another one? We're looking good. Time's looking good. We're flying through this. Oh, this is a watchy one. I have to reach out to people. Next generation TypeScript. Oh my goodness.
This goes out to the Primeagen.
I want to watch it just for the sole fact that it's like next generation TypeScript. I just don't want to shit on something. The problem I have with this is I don't... Oh, man. Ethan needs more followers. This sounds exciting. You are free to react to this video. I'm sitting there saying, I don't know if I want to do it. It's like Ethan knew. Ethan knew. And he was just like, yo, I want to give you permission. Ethan, I will respect... I respect this. Thank you very, very much. Okay. I will do it. I will do it. He knew you were coming. I was coming, but hey,
That scared me.
That's actually scared me too. Okay, Lightestone, I can't do this kind of math you're doing. I think you did 34 last time and now 46 this time. What the hell's happening here? I can't do this kind of math. We are at 222. We are already at a perfect number. The number was beautiful.
That scared me.
You guys, I swear, are literally paying off my well. You've been too kind. Lewis, thank you very much for the brand new.
I love you.
$5 a month! Thank you very much. Dude, you guys have absolutely no idea.
Give me the meat.
King of Wit.
And give it to me raw.
I'm gonna do the. I will do it. I'll do it. I don't want to do it. Do you not understand? I don't want to do it because I have to like.
That scared me.
Aim. I appreciate that. You guys realize I have to go meet up with somebody that runs cattle, and I'm going to go play golf with them so they can put cattle on my land, and I can help use my land because I have way too much grass. If I show up with blue hair, you think they're going to put cattle on my land? You think I could sell this contract coming into a contract negotiation with blue-ass hair? I live in a small town. Do you have any idea what blue hair does to you? I cannot use the term old ranchers will call me when they see me walking in. I am going to get horribly insulted. Jordy, y'all, thank you very much. Ninja equals funny. Trust me, ninja does not equal funny. Wear a wig. Aim, thank you for the 5 and the 20. Many appreciations. TJ, can you just, hey, TJ, can you come over and can you just do this for me?
Get me the meat.
TJ, can you come over and do this? Buy mine. Thank you very much. 13 is my lucky number. Really? Oh, look at that. Close the deal. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Hexy F. Sexy's 96F. 96 is a pretty neat. 96 kind of a neat one. My brain wants to make it into something. It's a bunch of 12s, but it's not like it's an odd amount of 12s.
Into good feelings.
It feels good, though. I like it a lot. Oh, my goodness. The Blue Hair Cattle Ranch. Wait, the name is the Blue Hair Cattle Rancher. Okay, get a milkshake. Stop it. Hey, thank you. The developer mask giving off 10. Okay, guys. What the hell is happening here? Fly me out with your gifted subs, and I'll do the meeting with him. We can pretend you are my liberal cousin who I've taken in to try and save. The blue hair will go in the next month. Big backstory. The problem is he already knows me. And then I have to answer to my father-in-law. Broken potato, you just joined today. I do love this idea, though, TJ, that you're me trying to explain what's going on. Well, it would be interesting take on blue-green builds. You can make your excuse on that. Okay, that's a good idea. Maybe I was really into function coloring, so it's like either I'd have my hair red or blue, depending on what team I'm on. Maybe I loved a halo.
Welcome to Costco.
Dude, okay, guys.
I love you.
Thank you, Ivan Dev. I appreciate that. Hey, real talk, Broken Potato, you just joined. Like, you're brand new to this community. We're talking about brand new. Look at this. You, like, literally haven't been following a month. Many appreciations. Hey, the blue hair cattle rancher with blue-haired bovine again. Yeah. Is the coloring a mustache on the table? It is off the table because I have to shave my mustache afterwards. Hey, Priestley Chip, thank you very much. Telling me you lost a bet and you're a man of your word. Now that, on the other hand, that could be good.
Welcome to Costco.
Light Store, you've already done it, Light Store. You don't have to go any further. Thank you, Light Store. Many appreciations for your 59 times 5 gifted subs like today. Jeez. Your father-in-law will respect the game, though. Just tell him it was for over $1,000, and he'll think, well, I already didn't respect you, but at least I know you're selling your body for barely anything.
It turns all your bad feelings into good feelings. It's a night.
He will think that. Oh, no, he will definitely think that. Oh, TJ, that is such a W. Well, at least he knows how to sell himself short. Well, this should be fantastic. Why don't you go over there and talk to my rancher buddy that I set up? Thank you for that. Thank you, Armili. I appreciate that. And Jay Booth, thank you very much for the gifted subs. Many appreciations. All right, people, let's move on. Don't be dissing my boy Theo. Yeah. No, you want to look like Theo? No, me and Theo look completely different. I don't have a chiseled jawline and look like a male model. Okay.
This goes out to the Primeagen.
I'm just a normal looking human. Okay. I'm not chiseled. I'm not chiseled. Okay. I'm not chiseled. Oh, wait a second. Light Store, you had 333. I'm literally almost crying laughing in the middle of a coffee shop. Dude, that was a hilarious joke. Light Store, you didn't have to do the 12.
I love you.
Ath incoming. What is Ath? All right, hey, no more. Let's just call it here. This is actually awesome. Theo's a good guy. Hey, I don't want any. Hey, we're not trash talking other creators. We don't trash talk other creators, okay? We just don't do that around here. That's not who we are. So if you want to say Theo's great, say he's your boy. No problems around here. Womp womp. Damn, thank you, Ace. Ace at 64. Which game we talking on 64? You look like a regular Emacs user.
This goes out to the Primeagen.
I use Vim. Broken Potato. Is Ath an illegitimate? Theo is great, has cool perspective and different than yours, so it's nice. Yeah, that's why you should listen to Theo. Theo has different perspectives. That's what you should do with your life, people. Too many people listen to one person and call it like the truth. Okay, don't listen to one person on Twitter and call it the end game. Okay, there's many reasons why you should listen to people. Even if you think they're wrong, you can still listen to somebody, and it's good, right? Theo does have great content. He's great at what he does. I'm incredibly impressed by what Theo does. Absolutely. You know what I mean? This applies to everything in life. Always be open to listening. Always be open to listening, and everyone should do that. So that's why I always get kind of intense when someone's like, oh, something. Like, if you... I just don't like trash talking. I'm not a trash talker. I respect the hell out of a lot of people because it's just like what TJ does. He's an incredible engineer. By far the best engineer that I think is on Twitch other than some coding guy, right? I think those two people are probably the best engineers that I know on Twitch right now. They build incredible software. They solve incredibly hard problems. I think Theo's very, very good at what he does. He builds really great sites. He makes really useful tools. I like his tools. I use Ping all the time. How do you think we got Melky Dev on here? Is Teach a joke to you? No. Hey, no problem. Currently doing a project that 200% triggers me. It happens. We all get there. We all get there. Use the plugin. Learn Vim motions before you go to Vim. That's the easiest way to get started, right? And also, if you're using... Okay, so how do you go from VS Code to Vim? So here's two really good tips. This will help you in an immense amount. One, first learn Vim motions. And while learning Vim motions, I want you to do one more thing, and this is going to sound really, really strange. Hide your file tree at all times in VS Code. That may sound super strange. Like, why would you want to do that? Well, here's the reason why. When you open up Vim to say some file, I opened it up actually to a file tree, it looks like this. And this is really jarring if you're not used to this. This is actually really strange. And you won't be able to figure out why, but Vim will feel hard to use. And why it feels hard to use is because you're used to your UI looking a certain way. And so therefore, if it doesn't look that way, you're going to be like, something's wrong. I don't really like what I'm seeing. It feels hard to use. But if you just simply remove that at all times in VS Code, you'll get used to not seeing it. And therefore, this will be a much easier thing to look at. And then when you need the fuzzy find, you fuzzy find, right? You don't have to have all the, you have all the bells and whistles that you do in VS Code. You have them right here, right? Like, I can go look at all that same stuff. It's not... Like, there's no difference. It's just it looks different. And when something looks different, often it can feel confusing. The name is ThePrimeagen. I don't know, possible short. NeoVim plugin for VS Code is good. It uses NeoVim underneath the hood. Yeah, absolutely. All right, I'm going to turn off alerts, and we're going to move on, okay? Let's just move on because I don't want... any more of this, right? For show a short. Yeah, that's a good short. Init 3. Absolutely. Thanks, dude person. Stop watching your chorus after the Vim motions and just use them on VS Code. There you go. That's good enough, honestly. Start there. It's a great place to start. And like I said, if you want to make the full jump, hide the file tree. After that, there's like the whole setting up Vim. I have one. TJ has one. He even has a project called Kickstarter. Lots of different ways to do it. Very, very easy. Don't worry about it. All right, here we go. Alerts are officially off. Thank you for this incredible hype train. You guys are incredible. Thank you. Let's go on to this because I actually really do want to watch this. Okay, don't look at anything else. Let's look at this. Next generation TypeScript. Here we go. Marker. Next gen TypeScript. Start. I gotta go pee. I gotta be right back. I gotta go pee. All right, hey. All right, you guys ready to do this? Wait, hold on. For the first time, no buffer tabs? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah. Buffer tabs, yeah. Don't do buffer tabs. Well, maybe you could. I think I could like them. Thank you, Flip. All right, you guys ready to do this? You ready? You ready to do this? Am I dressed properly to be a TypeScript person? Do I need to take off my hoodie? Am I like... Do I do TypeScript stuff with my hoodie on or off? I can't tell. I think so. If we're doing TypeScript content, hey, it's TypeScript content, okay? We don't mess around with that non-stuff, okay? There we go. We're not gonna get fully naked, okay? But if we're doing TypeScript content, you know we gotta look the part, okay? Hoodies off. Let's go. Okay, hey. Next generation TypeScript. Are you ready for this? I'm kind of excited about this. What is next gen TypeScript?
Hi, I'm Ethan, and this video is an introduction to Effect, a TypeScript library to help developers easily create the complex applications of today and tomorrow.
Okay, exciting. Next generation. Here we're gonna turn up the volume. We're gonna turn up the volume. I'm actually at maximum. I'm at 153%. Spinal Tap 11. Can't get any louder.
We are stuck with JavaScript and all of its quirks, whether we like it or not. TypeScript has been a really big step, but the primitives it's built on are still fundamentally flawed. It's time to build with a library designed to handle the complexity of modern development. How often?
I do agree with this. I think JavaScript is a severely flawed language. But, you know, to be fair, all languages are kind of severely flawed in their own way. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Except for Go and Rust. They're beautiful languages. And OCaml. C really is a perfect language. C++ is horrifying. Gosh, I mean, I'm sure Elixir's great. I've never used Elixir. I mean, Haskell's so glorious that you can only write white papers. Like, okay, so maybe it's just Java. Maybe JavaScript sucks.
Have you seen this kind of code?
Yeah.
What problems might there be here?
Several try-catch issues. Okay, so this is like my classic example of why I hate JavaScript. Where are the errors? Like, this function doesn't state that it has an error. This function does not state that it has an error. This function does not, like, there's 3 possible places where errors happen.
The biggest problem is that this function could crash your program, but doesn't feel the need to tell you.
Boom! Let's go! It's like that guy read my mind. He read it. He read it. He knew it. I knew it. If it happens, it happens. Dude, pre-watch? No, it's because I've done this too much. It's because I've written too much. Ah!
Unsafe assumptions crash our programs at runtime and wake us up at 4 a.m.
Correct.
Handling these cases properly in vanilla TypeScript is less than ideal.
Did I? We have not gotten to a point in web dev where we say the phrase vanilla TypeScript, right? Is that a thing now? A language that's transpiled to a language that is interpreted? Ethan, I love you. This is you already have captured my heart with everything you're saying, Ethan. I am on your team. But please never say the word vanilla TypeScript again. I will emotionally be... I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I'm dying on the inside.
What if you forget to try catch? What if you forget one of the possible errors?
Yeah.
This is exactly as unsafe as the original function, but the 3 places it can crash are now explicitly stated.
Yep.
If you want it to never crash, you find alternatives for those or dies. Here's what a verbose version of that might look like.
Okay, this is good.
I know this may seem like a lot, but this is mostly caused by having to work around existing APIs that are designed around try-catch. It takes a bit of work at the weeds, but once you're into the effect world, things become much easier.
So right away, there's something that really worries me right off the rip. When I'm just looking at this code, right? This is just a result type. What I'm seeing right now is I'm just seeing effectively an attempt to mix two concepts together. Some sort of asyncing, understanding of promises, and then on top of it, it looks like it's really also doing what's it called, a result type. And so if you're not familiar with result types, we'll get your monads in order because I'm about to put my foot in your functor. Okay, so think about that. Should I put? Is it my foot in your functor or my functor in your ass? I feel like the second one just doesn't sound the way I want it to sound. You know what I mean? Doesn't sound quite the way I want. It doesn't quite sound the way I want it to.
An idiomatic effect solution looks like this. Don't worry too much about the specifics here. We'll talk about the basic effect types and functions soon.
I'm always very worried about memory. So I come from a different world, right? I write on televisions. I think about memory. When I write code, I think about memory. Memory is kind of like a thing I should be worried about, right? And so when I see this, it worries me. You know what I mean? I don't know what is this? Who just raided me? I'm in the middle of Pirate Software? Thank you very much, Pirate Software. I was trying to figure out what the heck all this was. Hey, Pirate Software. I would like to say, I don't know your name. I only know you by your Twitch handle. I would just like to say that you have one of the most incredibly smooth voices, and I am 1,000% convinced I would have been much more successful in my life if I had a voice as half as maleficent as yours. It is so good. It makes it literally, I get sweaty listening to you. It's just amazing. Amazing. Buttery smooth. Buttery is not even enough. It's coconut oiled on top of avocado oil, on top of KY jelly. Okay? It's so slippery. It's so slippery that sandpaper slides right off of it. Okay? Everybody go follow. You gotta check it out. Check them out. Okay? Check them out. Amazing. Makes great stuff. Obviously, a super seasoned game programmer. Makes his own indie games, right? You've been in the game industry for 20-some years, right, Pirate? Thor is your name. Do I call you Tor or Thor? So, we should merge. I can't grow facial hair. I get it. Some people do struggle with the facial hair problems. Seasoned, aka old. Yep, this is true. Some people call that old. I call it seasoned, experienced. You're definitely not emerging talent. Very senior, staff level, perhaps. Anyways, thank you very much. So, let's see, 20 years, Blizzard, Amazon Game Studio, Department of Energy, hacker, game dev. Yeah, you have. I do follow your channel a little bit. You may not realize this. I'm a huge lurker. I'm not much of a talker when I go into other people's Twitch channels, and big fan. Just letting you know. All right, hey, Blizzard, by the way. Hey, but he was old school Blizzard, right? You worked at Blizzard back when it was like Blizzard, right? Blizzard back when it was like Blizzard in the real Blizzardy days, right? Not modern Blizzard. Blizzard back, like all companies. There was definitely a heyday where they were super cool, right? Like Google would have been amazing to work at, like 15 years ago. Old school. Dad was there 23 years back when it was Silicon and Synapse. Wow. Probably made StarCraft. See, that is just amazing. Pre-breast milk thievery. Well, that's a story I don't know about. That sounds exciting. He who has no life? I mean, I know that. I only know the quote, "How do you kill that which has no life?" from South Park. I don't know that specific phrase. I can't think of it. I've played through all the StarCrafts, and I played through most of the Warcrafts. I didn't really play much. I started on Warcraft 2. Right? Yeah, you can drop a link. I have no rules. I have no rules in this chat. It's my dad. This isn't a joke. He was the, he was the cinema. No effing way. That is your, no way. So I was right both on the reference. Oh my goodness, and it's your dad. That's so effing cool. Oh. What an effing legend. What a legend. Dude. I wish I had a crown, because I would say, hey, I think you dropped this. Right? I can't even do that. I need to get a crown for this exact moment. The reason why I don't have a hoodie on, so, okay, everybody, I'll tell you what I do. So during the daytime, I stream for about 2 hours and 20 minutes, something like that. And while I'm streaming, what I'll do is I actually just read articles and do that. During the evening time, about 4 days a week, I work for about an hour 15, hour 20 minutes on some personal projects. This is just kind of the new cadence I've been setting. I do courses for front-end masters. I work at Netflix. I stream on Twitch. I make YouTube videos. And so I really enjoy this article read. It gives me a lot of cool perspectives. I get to see a lot of cool stuff. And we're in the middle right now looking at this video called Next Generation TypeScript. We're going to continue on. And since it's TypeScript, I can't be wearing a hoodie looking like a hacker, man. I got to be, I got to take it off. I got to look like, I got to go get, I don't have Starbucks. I have Commeter, which I think is even more JavaScript-like. So if you don't know, I'm drinking this coffee, I think. Yeah. It's really good coffee. Front End Master sent it to me. So Mark, the CEO of Front End Masters, sent me a box of it. It is like super good. It's super amazing coffee. I am shocked at how much I like it. Shook, some people say. So really, I need a button up. I probably do need a button up. Just want to look jacked. I just wish I was as, it's not an ad. I'm not sponsored by them. I actually tried to reach out to them saying, hey, would you sponsor me? Because I'd actually be sponsored by you. I really love your coffee. And they said no. They just didn't. Okay. Sun's out, guns out. Hell yeah, brother. I did do 54 push-ups. Is that ass water? What? I know they said no. Or they didn't say anything. They said no in the worst way. They didn't even say no. They just didn't respond. Isn't that like the worst way to get ghosted? Oh gosh, hurts. Rust interview on Monday, switching from Node. Hey, good luck, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna get started back again, which means that I don't have alerts on. So anyone wondering why there's no alerts or anything going on, no alerts, none of this. We're gonna keep on going. I need to update my marker. I know Sunship's exact same thing. Please, again, check out. Oh my goodness, shout out. Please check out Pirate Software again. Legend, amazing. Already following. You should follow too. Awesome. All right, marker, next generation TypeScript, restarted. There we go. I got ghosted by Netflix. We all get ghosted. All right. So kind of to pick up where I was at, I was talking about this, so now I'm kind of confused a little bit. But okay, so I'll do my best, Flip. Try to do your best editing for this. So something that always bothers me, I think a lot about memory when it comes to JavaScript. And remember, I work on televisions, I work in constrained memory environments, and we have a JavaScript engine because we needed a UI that could be updated, and we didn't go with Lua. It was too slow back in the day, nor MicroPython. We went with JavaScript. And so whenever I see things like FlatMap or pipe and all this, there's a lot of state and memory that is captured to make all these things work. Always kind of freaks me out when I see this kind of stuff. But I'm excited. I love the idea of a result object. I'm not sure if I love the idea of a result object that also has maybe, a lot of things it can do.
I just wanted to give you a taste. The love-hate relationship with JavaScript is something most developers share.
Yep.
You can't seem to escape it. The language has grown a lot, with new modern features and TypeScript making development surprisingly pleasant, but the pain points are still there. Effect brings TypeScript up another level, providing powerful primitives to make writing safe, asynchronous, resourceful, composable, concurrent, and observable programs easier than ever before.
I'm curious about the observable. I'm curious if he's going to address that, because that's it's one of the hard parts about promises and things like that, is that it's sometimes it's hard to observe your program in a good manner. Isn't TypeScript already safe? No, it's never been safe. It's not going to be safe.
Let's start with type safety. What's the problem with these two types? They're only generic over one parameter.
Correct.
TypeScript gives us the illusion of safety, but once things go off the happy path, you're left completely in the dark.
Also, just so you know, optimizations in JavaScript are often tied to like monomorphic functions and stuff like that. So when I see things where you have generics as parameters, you're also setting yourself up to get like destroyed in performance. Just a thing I'd like to throw out there.
I am here to tell you that it doesn't have to be that way.
Okay.
The effect type is the core of the entire effect ecosystem. Although their actual implementation is a bit more complex, it can be helpful to think of an effect as a function that takes in its requirements as arguments and returns either a value or an error.
I really don't like this interface right off the rip where error is first and then value. I'm more of a value error kind of guy, not an error value. That's kind of like the old Node way, which is error value. I've never been that kind of person. More into the whole, you know what I mean? Kind of more into that side, you know what I mean?
Takes in its requirements as arguments and returns either a value or an error. Now, back to JavaScript for just a quick moment. Asynchronous code is everywhere in modern apps,
Promises
but the promise primitive leaves a lot to be desired.
Absolutely.
Promises are eagerly executed, meaning they begin execution immediately on creation. This means that they can never be used to represent a computation.
This is correct. I have never really liked that, but there is async iterators, which are kind of like a neat result of a promise. But I do agree the idea of a promise being hot is kind of annoying. I kind of wish I had like a way to I kind of wish that's why often you'll see things like promise factories, where if you try to build any sort of async request queue, you kind of have to like make them into factories. So you have to have a function that returns a promise as opposed to just receiving promises, or else they just all execute right away. They're kind of annoying.
Only an already running computation that might have already completed and produced a value. Also, the value produced by a promise is implicitly memoized, meaning that when the promise is settled, the internal state of the promise is frozen and can't be changed anymore, whether the promise is fulfilled or rejected.
Correct.
Consequently, if you
Correct. Which means you may hold on to memory longer.
want to run the same computation again, you'll need to recreate the entire promise from scratch. Effects aren't like this. The effect data type represents an immutable value that lazily describes a workflow or a job, and all effect functions produce new effect values.
Again, worried about the memory of this. The thing that makes promises good is that they're also supported at a syntax level with async await. And that's why I like them, right? If I just had the raw dog promises, I wouldn't like it at all. And so I always see this is the same thing I always see people, Ethan, I think I love where you're trying to go with this kind of stuff. I've seen this also with like options or result types people try to do in Java or in TypeScript. And it's always the same thing, which is these ideas are great. But if there's no syntax support for these ideas, and you have no pattern matching on top of it, which is all, syntax support, these things can be huge pain in the asses. You know what I mean? Like, these are not great experiences. And so until JavaScript gets generics built into it and all of that, like, how can this work? Okay, let them cook. You're telling me let bro cook, the building's not going to burn down? Okay, let me hear.
Effect values don't actually do anything. They are just values that model or describe effectful interactions.
Okay.
An effect can be interpreted by the effect runtime system into effectful interactions with the external world. If you're like me, your mind is probably racing with possibilities at this point. I am now going to give you an intentionally very quick tour of some of the things that the effect ecosystem offers.
My mind personally is racing with memory and desire that there is better syntax. I still love. I'll let him cook. We're letting him
Although
cook.
You're more than welcome to pause on each slide to try and understand what's going on, don't get too caught up in the specifics.
Yeah.
I'll go into more depth in future videos. Just try to get an idea of what's possible. Now that errors are in their own dedicated channel and clearly separated by type, it becomes trivial to handle errors case by case, all at once, or to let them bubble up to the
I'm curious if these catch. I'm curious if the catch tag that must use some sort of like name of the function, right? So that way, name of the constructor, so it's able to get the thing that's coming out of it correctly. It does look like RxJS, which is also a leaky abstraction. This is also, I mean, effect is a leaky abstraction. But I'm curious if it uses some sort of type completing, some sort of crazy inference, some sort of whatever that's able to infer out these strings, or do you have to manually type them in, hoping you've correctly typed them in? For me, that's always a big worry whenever I see strings. If that's the case, I'd much rather see you pass in a constructor, because if you already have the type, it'd be nice just to pass in the constructor. You know what I mean?
Next effect. What's wrong with this snippet? Well, nothing, until you want to swap your live database client for a local test one. Sure, we could go full functional programming and pass every possible dependency as an argument, but that quickly becomes unrealistic. Effect provides a better way. In effect, a tag.
Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to understand this. One thing, by the way, please stop doing this. There are libraries, the protobuf generation library does this, where they name the type and the constant the same value. It totally Fs with trying to, you can't reuse the type easily sometimes, and it can be just very frustrating sometimes. Anyways, sorry. I'll keep going. Context tag, okay, function get users from this, DB client, runnable. Okay, what's happening here?
Is a placeholder for a dependency of some type. We can use the tag just as if it was the actual implemented object in our effects without ever actually implementing it. Doing so causes that type to appear in the requirements field of the resulting effect. This tells the effect runtime that you must provide an implementation that matches the defined type before the program can be run. This can be done flexibly, anywhere in your program, meaning it becomes simple to swap out the implementation of a dependency when required. Modern
That's cool, because that'll, I mean, at least it airs out. It's kind of like some sort of trait implementation. I mean, it looks like a very in some sense, it's a very convoluted way to make a interface requirement. But I can dig it.
Anywhere in your program, meaning it becomes simple to swap out the implementation of a dependency when required. Modern apps are complex, often involving complex dependency hierarchies. To account for this, effect provides layer, a type describing the blueprint for the construction of a set of requirements. It takes some requirements in, may produce some error, and yield some requirements out. Resources in our application may require lifetime-related logic. The scope data type is fundamental for managing resources safely and in a composable manner in effect. In simple terms, a scope represents the lifetime of one or more resources. When a scope is closed, the resources associated with it are guaranteed to be released. Modern applications require observability for us to...
I guess I didn't see how they're guaranteed to be released. There must be some sort of... Okay, hold on. So that means the effect itself is going to have its own... It has its own life cycles that it calls. And so acquire does this, release, so it actually will call and check for these things. Okay, so you have multiple life cycles then.
Associated with it are guaranteed to be released. Modern applications require observability for us to know what's going on inside them.
Yep.
Effect provides powerful logging capabilities with different levels such as debug, info, warning, and error, as well as the ability to provide a custom logger that can do more than just a simple console.log. Effect provides a powerful and composable scheduling toolkit for when you want to run an effect more than just once. Have you ever tried implementing jittered exponential backoff? If you were to try to implement this snippet without effect, how would you do it? Would it be as flexible or as maintainable? This code
function that takes in a function, but I mean, I see what you mean. It's a non-trivial problem. If you haven't done your own throttle, your own debounce, your own back off, those things can be kind of difficult. I always have a lot of questions whenever I hear these things, like, should you ever do those things? Because whenever you do these back offs, whenever you do that, you can also accidentally create yourself a thundering herd in your own cloud and just destroy your own service. People, like, we did that at Netflix. We had this nice exponential back off. Then we had all these different kind of ones. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the next thing you do, your clients are all just like, the request failed. We better make another request shortly. The request failed again. We should make it, but a little bit longer this time, right? So your service is just like, ouch, ouch, ouch. We've definitely done that.
works while your meager startup only has 5 users. But what about when it grows to hundreds or thousands? That many requests at once will crash your users' devices. And remember, promises are eagerly executed.
Yep.
So we'll need to design a complicated async queue with batching and interruption to enforce a level of parallelism. Or we could use Effect.
Concurrency.
It really is this easy. Effect's fiber-based runtime manages everything for you. Lightweight threads of execution called fibers power Effect's runtime. Think of a fiber as a worker that performs a specific job. It can be started, paused, resumed, and even interrupted. Effect also seamlessly integrates with existing interruption APIs such as a port controller. Working with fibers directly is a pretty advanced use case you probably won't need for a while when starting out.
So when I hear that, the thing I don't like about that is that the process event loop is already a pretty dang good one, and you can't actually stop a currently running JavaScript item. You have to wait until JavaScript goes back to the event loop, right? You have to wait for the stack to be cleared. And so you can't pause it or interrupt it. You can only stop it at a certain point, which means that you have an event loop which orders things as they come, and now you're going to actually have a re-implemented event loop. And now you have to have all these tasks that are always kind of calling back, and you have to have something that's doing some sort of mega task listening to, and then comes in and tries to pluck these things off one at a time. And also, I mean, JavaScript is single process execution. I don't like to use the term single-threaded. I've been recently calling it GNU plus Linux. I don't like to use the term single-threaded just because V8 is not single-threaded. But your JavaScript only executes one line at a time. There's no parallelism. And so, you know, this idea of being able to break stuff and all that, you do have to understand what that means. Is that if you had, I can just assume here that if you have a pipe of 5 events and you fibre this thing, each one of those effects, each one of those, you could potentially pause between 2 of them, and it will stop executing at one of them, and then it will wait. I mean, things that I see right now is that I'm trying to understand a system that you would need this in, because what you're going to get is that you're going to get significantly worse performance. You're going to get significantly higher garbage collection. But you are going to have some conveniences. Some things that when I see some of these things, what I realize is that there's a lot of concepts being mixed here. There's like the result type, that we all want a good result type, right? We all want to be able to avoid having errors thrown, right? I think we can all agree on this, very, very much so like that. But I'm not sure if I want all the other things matched up with it, right? Like, I don't like results because I can't have pattern matching. But I also not sure if I want to mix it with the concepts of async. It almost feels like they need to be separate concepts, right? And by having them all mixed into one, I feel like this is... I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like, I get the idea. This reminds me of RxJS back in the day. When I got RxJS, I was super excited about it. Everything became RxJS. I got a golden hammer, and I solved all my problems with RxJS. Oh, you want to do drag and drop? Look at this. Mouse down starts the observable. Oh, mouse drag. Every 100 milliseconds on, I fire an event. Mouse up, stop it. Disconnect from the observable. Mouse down, and just do this over and over and over and over again. And I could see, like, everything became a nail because of my love for RxJS at one point. And then I realized kind of what it does, and all of a sudden I start hating it. And then I realized, like, how much it spreads, and then how much, it can become very difficult to debug these kind of programs. Because the reality is that most of the code that execute isn't your code. And so when things aren't working the way you think they are, debugging can become excessively difficult. You know what I mean? That's where I see some of the problems here.
Application code in TypeScript often solves the same problems over and over again.
Someone just said, yeah, observables was cool until you have to debug it. It's exactly, like, literally what I'm saying. Exactly. Precisely correct, which is they feel like these type of systems, they seem super awesome, but it's always the debug story that I really, really, really worry about. The thing is that Effect doesn't spread that much or to integrate well with vanilla code. I get that. Why am I so naked today? I'm doing some TypeScript.
Effect provides a rich ecosystem of libraries that provide standardized solutions to many of these problems. You can use these libraries to build your application, or you can use them to build your own libraries. However, Effect understands it's not always realistic to rewrite your entire application. By now, you might have thought back to other projects aimed at doing TypeScript better, or even other programming languages. the majority of which ultimately fall to the same fate: a lack of easy interop with the vast and unavoidable existing JavaScript ecosystem.
My assumption is that there's probably some sort of like simple exiting item that just converts it into a promise and go. That's my guess.
Not effect. While it would be awesome to write applications that are effect all the way down, you can just start with the pieces of the ecosystem that make the most sense for the problems you are solving. Do you just want to rewrite a single endpoint that does some complicated parallel asynchronous work or has some particularly nasty error handling? You can do it with effect today. Do you just want to take advantage of one of effect's useful data structures? You can do it with effect today.
Well, that's good. I mean, I like things that
However, as
piecemeal
more and
in.
more of your codebase is using effect, you will probably find yourself wanting to utilize even more of the ecosystem.
So that's one of the dangers, of course. So the underlying thing that he didn't say is that it also can easily spread, right? Maybe it spreads and maybe you start solving things that you don't have to solve. It just becomes convenient to solve once you already have the abstraction. And that's why I get a little bit worried.
And lastly, if you think you could get out of using effect because functional programming is too different and too difficult, think again. Effect has its own form of async await style syntax powered by generators. With generators, you can write effectful code in the imperative way that you already know. Effects concepts may be new to you and may not completely make sense at first. This is totally normal. Learning effect is a lot of fun. Many developers in the effect ecosystem are using effect today to solve real problems in their day-to-day work, as well as experimenting with cutting-edge ideas for pushing TypeScript to be the most useful language it can be. I hope you feel inspired to give the effect documentation a read and to explore the effect repositories and API reference pages.
I'm glad that at least he said go read the docs first. I like it. Hey, I like it. Start with the docs.
Consider joining the Effect Discord server, a great community for learning and discussing effect. Links to all of that, as well as the transcript and markdown source code to this video, are available in the description, and corrections will be in the pinned comment. Finally, a huge thank you and shout out to No Boilerplate, to whom this video takes very strong inspiration from.
Nice.
His videos are incredible and inspired my passion.
I most certainly saw the no boilerplate feel from this video. You can see it right away in the sense that this was obviously pretty straight to the point. There was not a lot of fluff in this video. Very well done. Really like this video. Great YouTube video overall. Very well done.
Rust. Just like I hope this video will inspire your passion for effect. Please check out his channel. The link is also in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Come on, that's a tryst move. We all know that.
Content layer makes working with
very well done.
Content layer makes working with.
Okay, I don't know what just happened there. It got me twice. I really did like that. I really liked the style of YouTube video. I think that he did a great job. I think that everything was good. Why am I not wearing? I already told you why I'm not wearing something. The thing I don't like about that, again, is just I foresee leaky interfaces. I foresee high memory. I see hard debuggability. I know there's observability built in with this whole logger situation. You can provide your own custom logger. I love that. I love that part. But I don't love that tech. I don't think it's good. And I don't often say things in such absolute terms. I really try never to say this. It's really just RxJS that gets my ire. I will not use RxJS. I will not use effect. I am sorry. I love the concepts in there. I think they're all really, really great. I just don't think it's great for JavaScript. Personal opinion. Okay? I will not use it. I don't use effect in React. I don't use effect in this. I don't use React, by the way. Anyways, there you go. RxJS is pretty confusing. It's not confusing. I mean, once you get it, it's not confusing. It's what it does to your code. It's the same thing that happens with effect. It's what it does to your code that can become really difficult. Anyways. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. I don't think it's for me. If you want to try it out, go check out Use Effect. Go check out Effect. Seems kind of exciting, but okay. Sorry, I got to do this. This guy is just, I don't know who you are or what you're doing, but here, you're getting out of here. You're out. Okay, you're out, buddy. Get him out. Karen, here's the thing. It's like, I get it. I get people get excited about content and concepts and stuff like that. But here's the thing. I don't want them spamming constantly. You know what I mean? So can you just get his laptop gently, of course. I want you to be very gentle. You know, we got to show respect. And I would just like it if you could just very respectfully frisbee toss his laptop and all of his belongings out the window behind me, okay? That's what I want to see today. Cool story, bro. I appreciate your comments. Appreciate your comments. The name is Ethan. I really liked your YouTube video. I'm sorry that I'm shitting on Effect, but hey, I really liked your YouTube video. You should go and subscribe to him because it was actually a very well done video, and I'm confident he's going to continue to make some really good videos. Again. All right, I gotta put my my hoodie back on. Ethan, I really liked your video, Jen. I did. I really liked the video. That was a long name. Sometimes my names are long. You know what I mean? Man's probably just trying to exit Vim. Classic, trying to exit Vim and just can't stop spamming Twitch chat. I don't care that you're I don't care that you're putting stupid flags in there or whatever, China #1 crap. That's not what I care about. I just don't want to see somebody spamming the same thing over and over again. You just spam the same thing over and over again, you get the hell out of here. Unless if you're Nightshade Dude, I get it. You spam the same thing. I get it. Alt F4 to exit Vim. Did you just out yourself as a Windows pleb? Okay, whatever Windows pleb. Okay, Nightshade Dude. Okay, I get it. Ooh. There we go. What if Lithium was spamming? Probably okay. Well, I get it, Nightshade Dude. DJN Prime is back? Absolutely. That was a pretty good video. Man, by the way, your dad is an effing legend. Just an effing legend. Gosh. Just a legend. I'm not very good at this whole mouse thing. I just need a fuzzy finder, and I don't know how to fuzzy find. There we go. There you go. Oh, did I accidentally just... Oh, I thought I closed down things. There we go. We've confirmed. Prime can't just fuzzy find. I know. I just need the fuzzy find. I don't have time for all this other crap. Is there anything else we're going to be doing? How long have I been on for? It's time, people. Deuces. Watching 1 hour of GeoHot live stream is like crack for coding. TJ doesn't spam, just self-promotes. Yeah, TJ's okay. You started PCOM manually? Yeah, I only started when I want to. Raid? Oh, Raid Dax is on? Hell yeah, brother. Hey, I like Dax. What the hell is this? Primeagen Fantasy Factory is needed. Wait, what the hell are we talking about? There's trash dev in here? Hey, appreciate the streams. Appreciate all of you. I hope you guys all have an amazing day. Dax, the bald goat. Yeah, let's jump in. Enjoy yourself. I like Adam. I like Dax. There's also trash. Like, you got a lot of options here, okay? You got a lot of things you could like here. Anyways, have an amazing day. Thanks for all the support. I still am shook that you guys do this. Just blows me away. I'll probably be on tonight. No, I think I'm hot dating my wife tonight. I don't know. Either I'm doing a hot date with my wife or I'll be on tonight and I'm going to continue on probably doing algorithms tonight. So Nice day. Yeah. Bye. Yeah. Ask TJ. TJ, we need more BTTV emotes. TJ. Anyways, algorithms. What time tonight? In hot girl summer. Exactly. What is it? About 9 hours from now. Some vectorized processing, perhaps. Perhaps. Teach. Hey, real talk though. Thank you so much for all the support. Absolutely incredible.